Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to SAFC Fan TV. Today, Sunderland travelled down to Portman Road to take on Ipswich away in what could be the last game for a little while, depending on how things go. It's Ipswich versus Sunderland, 3 p.m. kickoff. I'm joined by Dino to give a commentary on the game and ramble on as well when we do. Dino, how are you? How are you today?
Tired. Only had 3 hours, Kip. I'm just glad I'm not one of them people who went down there because that's a long journey down Ipswich. A very long journey.
Very enthusiastic, as always, Dino. You're always in a good mood, aren't you? And
that's what happens when you just go off night shift, mate. You're very tired.
Well, everyone feels sorry for Dino. The live chat is available as always. If you'd like to contribute to our show, we'll read out as many of the comments as we can on there. Already on that is SR4Q. Very interesting name. Hello to Terry Arkle and Isaac Green on there as well. May as well do the lineups then. I'll do Sunderland's first and foremost. Sunderland lineup like this. In goal is number 39, Torben Hoffman. Number 26, I'm going to assume the captain, Bailey Wright. Number 3, Tom Flanagan. Number 6, Callum Doyle. Number 7, Leon Diacu. Number 15, Carl Winchester. Number 24, Dan Neil. Number 11, Lyndon Gooch. Number 21, Alex Pritchard. Number 14, Ross Stewart. And number 9 is Nathan Broadhead. Dino, as is our little tradition, would you like to read out Ipswich's team?
Ipswich team lines up like this. In goal is Walton. On the right is Don Dashian. In the centre is Edmondson and Wolfenden. Is it Wolfenden?
Wolfenden, I believe.
Wolfenden. And on the left is Penny.
But he didn't cost much.
He didn't. On the right of midfield is Burns. In the middle is Morsey and Evans. And on the left is Aluko. And up front is Boney and Norwood.
I hope that's not Wilfred Boney.
No, it's M. Boney. Yes. It's his younger brother.
I mean, looking at the lineup, obviously it's unchanged. There was a little bit of a question mark throughout the week. We discussed it on Thursday Night Live over Lyndon Gooch's fitness. He had a fitness test yesterday. He must have passed because he's played today, although he hasn't trained all week. We've suffered with a lot of injuries, haven't we, in the last few weeks? And I think credit to Johnson and credit to the lads, really, for managing to knot together some kind of, some formula that can at least get some points on the board. We've actually done very well. I think recently we've picked up as many wins and go on, a little 6-game undefeated run with this type of squad that we've got. Dino, are you happy there's no changes, or is there anything you would have done personally different that's different?
There's nothing really you can really do. I mean, even the bench is really young. You've got Kimpioka, Hume, who's just come back from injury, Younger, Patterson, O'Brien, Embleton, and Alves. I mean, the team kind of picks itself at the minute because obviously we're on this unbeaten run. I'm not going to say a streak, but unbeaten run we're on.
We're banning that word now from the channel.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Gooch on the left. I mean, who else would you even put there? I mean, Aidan O'Brien can probably put it's a left wing back role more than a winger role, isn't it? So it's basically the team picks itself. I wouldn't really have changed a lot. There's nothing you could really do. You could have chucked Embleton in there for somebody, but I mean, Pritchard's performing, Broadhead performing, Dan Neil, Winchester look good. So where would he even stick? Elliot Embleton at this point, I mean, it's just basically the team which is winning games and not getting beat at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a handful of things you could have done, probably neither of which are particularly favourable. Looking at the bench, you've got Alves on there. He probably could have came in and formed what will be a very, very flat back four. But, I mean, I think it was someone put the idea forward on Thursday Night Live and I said, but, if you've got Doyle and Alves as your two full-backs, you've not really got any kind of support going forward there. Neither of them is particularly affluent, and going forward. Both of them, Doyle in particular, seems to be able to carry the ball a little bit and play out from the back, but it's a different ball game getting up and down the wing and being able to act almost as a winger at times, which is what the modern day wing back or full back's got to be able to do. Embleton, you mentioned, I think he could have came into the middle and you could have put Winchester at right back, Doyle at left back, and then Winchester essentially takes Gooch's role out on the right hand side. If Gooch was injured, and I think there's probably you got Hume who's making his way back. He's on the bench today, but you don't want to bring anyone back too quickly. And I think there's one other suggestion which would have been possibly to play someone from the under-23s. Tyrese Dice is the one for me. I think would have fit in quite nicely. Good left-sided player, plays left back, plays left midfield. Seems to play out on the right sometimes as well. And I think I've even seen him play up front a handful of times as well. I think he could have been a player who would come in. I think he's 21 now at that age. If you're not going to start playing professional football, first team football, then I don't really see the point in keep playing under 23s when you kind of get in your 21, 22, 23 kind of age. But I think credit to Johnson because we've not got a lot of options at all, really, have we? And Gooch is another one. That was a a risk for today, but we've done really well, I think, these last few weeks, and I think it has to be said that we've got to give credit to Johnson and to the players for getting to this point with there's few options.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you'll still have the lads who are shouting Johnson out, and I think that'll always be the case. I just think their minds are made up. I don't think the bloke can do any right in their eyes. For me, I try to be quite realistic. I don't try and think we're better than everyone in this league. I mean, we've been in this league for 4 seasons, so that just shows we are not the bee's knees of this league. We're just another League One team.
We're part of the furniture.
Basically, do you know what I mean? We're just another League One team who's trying to get out. Yeah, we've got a big stadium, we've got a big fan base, but that doesn't give you the right to just go, oh, we're the biggest team, so we'll go straight up. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately, in football. If anything, Johnson's doing a good job because he's just keeping it up in there in the pack, and that's all you can ask for. We've got that many injuries. I mean, this team shouldn't really be performing the way it is, to be fair. I mean, you've got a lot of players in there.
I think we're overperforming at this moment in time.
You could possibly say that we are overperforming a little bit. I mean, this is the same team who couldn't buy a win a couple of weeks ago, and now all of a sudden we're 6 unbeaten. So, I mean, credit to the lads, credit to Johnson for just keeping his head because the pressure was on. You know, for me it wasn't, but for other people the pressure was on.
He'd have been further than it.
I mean, for all we know, KLD's not even thinking about sacking him because at the end of the day, we're up there. We're still on target for where we need to be. We just need to try and see this through to January, hopefully get some signings in and complete the squad a little bit more because we are lacking a lot of depth at the minute.
I think as well with Johnson, results aside, he ticks a lot of boxes from the club at the minute. It's a very unique role, I think, as the head coach at Sunderland AFC at the minute. You don't really just want kind of anyone who can put a few results together. You want someone who's going to have to work under a director of football, someone who wants to play a certain brand of football, who wants to conduct transfers in a certain way, conduct training in a certain way, even have the correct balance between under-23s and first team, and all little details like that I think the appointment of Lee Johnson wasn't a rushed one. I think there was a lot of consideration that went into it. So I think it goes a lot deeper than simply looking at at results on the pitch. Before I come back to the audio, I'm just going to quickly go back onto the live chat. Hello to Elliot Patterson, Jack Miller, who's tuning in from Houston, Texas. DJ says the watching as always says, "Come on, Dino, it's Christmas time." I think he's asking for a little bit more enthusiasm from you there. Steve M73 is always tuning in from Glasgow. Cameron Lorna says, "All right, lads, and the Mad Mackham afternoon all being on their Xmas port today." So 3-1. If you've got your score prediction, why not leave it in the live chat? We'll read out as many as we can. But what I was wanting to ask you really was, and I know my answer to this, but obviously we've experienced a major pick up in results in recent weeks. But after having gone on a terrible run, really, what is it that you think has changed in particular to get things going back in the right direction?
Players stepping up to the mark, a little bit boosting confidence with results, and just working on things in training. I mean, we scored a corner. It was clearly a training ground routine, so things on the training ground are working a little bit. And there's a lot about football which is confidence. Yeah, some's tactical, some's the personnel you've got, but a lot of it's confidence. If you've got a confident player like Pritchard is coming to his own the last couple of weeks because his confidence is built. Start the season, he was nowhere near this. He was very passive. He was a bit more of a passenger. Now he's getting the ball. He's making things happen. Dan Neil, confidence player. Lyndon Gooch, growing in confidence. Giarco.
He is the definition of a confidence player.
Gooch or Giarco?
Gooch.
Even Giarco. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, everyone was calling for Giarco. Shouldn't be in the team. And all of a sudden, he's turning into Messi overnight. He's getting past his player. He's setting up goals. He's scoring goals. And Giarco's coming into his own, and he's practically the first name on the team sheet now.
He's had his best few performances in the last few weeks, and it seems as if to me every game he is getting better. But I do think we are overhyping him a little bit. I know you gave him a title there of what was it, Messi or something like that.
Like he turned into he's went from I don't know how to really say.
He's went from absolutely useless to being able to contribute something. I think is maybe a fair assumption, potentially.
Yeah.
I think he's got a long way to go. He's still getting talked through the game by B, right, it seems, almost constantly, which is understandable. He's playing in a role he's probably never even thought he'd ever have to play.
He's 20 years old as well.
In a country he's foreign too, and he's still a young lad. And I thought he had a lot more first team experience than he actually had. I think he's only actually had one season, and he wasn't particularly exactly play week in, week out. I think the thing with Diaco for me is it's the simples and the basics. He will beat players frequently. He can get in behind. He has got a little bit of pace about him, when he does have a little bit of end product here and there. But it's just the basic things. The 10 to 15 yard passes that he should just be nailing every time. The taking the ball down from a pass that doesn't even care that far away. It's the little things after me that really frustrate us about Diaco. Or sometimes it'll get to the end of a run, you want a good cross to go in the box, and he just sky it. And to be fair, I think that's a lot of players at this level, and it's just a testament to where we are at the minute.
Unfortunately, that's League One footballers.
But I will agree that he's getting better. And I think you could see that across the team. I mean, Bailey Wright is another one. I've criticised him all season. I think there's been a lot of times he's been almost at sole fault.
To be fair, I think it was harsh on him for the simple fact he was getting 5-minute cameos here and there. How are you supposed to build any momentum getting 5 minutes here and there? And every time he come on, he was like giving away a penalty or doing something daft. But that's because he wasn't getting regular football. And you're coming into a high pressure game, and you're going to make a mistake if you're not playing regularly. Look at him now. I mean, last season he was one of our best centre backs. Then all of a sudden he couldn't get a look in. I think he was come back from injury. Same with Tom Flanagan. Tom Flanagan. I mean, an unconfident Flanagan is useless.
Yeah. A
confident Flanagan is one of our best centre backs, and it's proved again. You still can't move him out of the team, and you think you've got Jamali coming back. You've got I don't even know who else plays centre back.
Young is there. Alves is there.
Alves plays for our Premier League team, and he's keeping. I know he's not a starter for the first.
I think he'll get sent back in January personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if West Ham aren't recalling him, then what are they doing? You know, if he's getting sent out to a club 2 divisions below, and he can't even get a game.
But isn't that credit the 3 centre backs in Doyle, Flanagan, and Wright for keeping Alves out the team? Because, like you say, one mistake, Alves comes in.
I disagree, because we had.
So you're telling me if Bailey Wright gets injured or sent off?
You said one mistake though.
That is, if he gets sent off, that's a mistake.
Yeah, but in terms of mistake, I thought you meant like an error leading to a goal, which is what his problem was.
It depends on what the error is.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But go back a couple of weeks ago, and we were a defensive calamity. Letting 5 in against Rotherham, who, to be fair, were getting better as a team at that point anyway. 3 against Sheffield Wednesday, they were a terrible footballing team. We let them in, really. 4 at Portsmouth, I think you can more or less write that one off a little bit because of the conditions. But regardless, defensively, we were all over the place. And I think it says a lot that Alves wasn't even given a run out here and there. He was just he got given half a game in the cup or something, which I think says a lot really about how much Johnson rates him. I don't think he'll be with us come the end of January. But I just want to bear it right. I know you said it was a bit harsh, but all I would say is he seemed to be caught. He seemed to be having a lot of errors that directly led to a goal, and it seemed to me it was becoming a reoccurring theme of Bailey Wright making a mistake that led to a goal that we conceded a tight game.
Let's be fair. He's in a position where a mistake can lead to a goal. It's like a goalkeeper. If a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it's practically nearly a guaranteed goal. When you're a defender, if you make a mistake, you've got your keeper there to try and back you up. You can make mistakes in midfield and up front because you've got your defenders and then you keep it to get past. But if you make a mistake in like just outside your box as a defender, you basically giving him a goal. So it's not his fault where he is on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? No, like midfielders can give away the ball countless times and the defence will cut it out. Whereas a defender, if you make that one mistake, you are practically the last line of defence.
But that's because as a defender, you've got different priorities. Your priorities become a lot of the time, don't make mistakes. You don't have to be a world beater. You've just got to do the basic right as a defender a lot of time. And I think with Wright, it was becoming all too often where Doyle and Flanagan weren't necessarily making a mistake every game, but it seemed as every time Wright came on the pitch, something went wrong, and it was because of him. In my opinion, 4 or 5 games in a row, almost it seemed. But recently, he's been far better, and he's playing in a really strange position. I mean, it's labelled as a 3-4-3, and what we've got here with Gooch and Diaco is acting as wing backs. But at times it can be a 4 at the back, at times it can be a 5 at the back, at times it can be a 3 at the back. You just don't even know. He's having to talk Diaco through the game. He's having to play right back sometimes. He's having to play centre back sometimes. He's having to go forward. He's having to defend. He's having to do a lot of things. And I think he's actually been one of our best players every game. He's been, to me, one of the best players on the pitch.
He's the thing is, he's capable. It's not like we're asking him to do like things what he's not used to doing. Like you can tell, he looks like he enjoys going forward. He looks like he helps. He likes to get forward and try and help the like create something of him, because you do see him sometimes just out on the right for no reason. Like he's like further forward than Giorgio. Like it looks like he enjoys that role. Like Callum Doyle does the same. The only thing with the defence I don't like is Tom Flanagan can't pass the ball. Like he's really good at getting tackles in. He's good in the air, but when he gets the ball, I always fear, because when he goes long, he barely hits his man. Yeah, he can play the little 5-yard passes, but when he seems to want to spray the ball, it very rarely works. And he always seems to be the one who gives the ball away, but he always gives the ball away up the pitch, because he looks for the long ball, and it never always works. And by the way, the teams are on the pitch right now.
I think he's quite a smart player at times, Flanagan. He doesn't tend to make a lot of mistakes in and around his box, where I think Wright was beginning to. But Gooch is another one where he's just... He's had an awful season, I think it would be fair to say, really.
Gooch, I think since he's been put left wing back or right wing back, I think left wing back has actually made him play a bit better, because he has the option now to cut inside, which he likes to do, but he has the confidence to go on the outside, where when he's on the right, I don't know, he just seems to be the same. Wants to get down the wing, wants to get down the wing. I think
when he's a wing back, he's got a little bit less responsibility in the final third, because his role changes. Instead of having to be that creative force, he can just get up and down, up and down, up and down, and he'll take the ball up at times. He's got to win it back at times, but he doesn't have to be at the forefront of the attack every time. He can just let his running do the talk, if that makes sense. And I think he actually suits that role of being a little bit further back a bit better. Anyway, so you mentioned the teams are coming out. Well, kickoff is due any minute. One thing we have asked you, Dino, is a score prediction. I said 2-1 to us on Thursday night, but I said I would take a point as well.
I mean, I'd take a point all day, but I don't know why. I've just got a feeling that we're going to struggle today. I don't know why.
Terminator's back.
Yeah, I know it's one of these things where people are saying Ipswich are on a bit of a downward spiral. I haven't won in a couple of games or whatever, and we're on a 6 unbeaten run. But when we come up against these teams, somehow they just switch it up. So I just got a feeling we're going to get beat 1-0. Don't know why. It's just in my head. I hope it's not. I hope we win. I hope we get a draw. But I've just got a feeling they're going to nick a goal.
Well, the players are taking the knee as we're due to kick off. Would you like to start this comment?
Yeah, I'll start. I'll do my best. I do try and get both players in. And it looks like the Wi-Fi signal is a bit. Look, it's got. Well, anyway, we're off on our way, and Daniel goes straight, looking on the right side, looking for the head of Ross Stewart. It's felt at Winchester, heads it forward, and it's a little bit of head tennis already.
10 seconds in, and we've said it already.
It's head tennis straight away, and it's out for a throw in.
It's going to be a good day today.
It really isn't. It's Bailey Wright to take this throw in. We're about 30 yards away from the box. He just throws it down to Roster, who gives it back to Bailey Wright. He's under pressure by Noah, but Bailey Wright does really well. He flicks it to Winchester, who kicks the ball up in the air. Roster brings it down on his chest, but Ipswich come away with the ball, and it is cleared down the left side. But it's hit off an Ipswich player number 3, Penny, and it's went out for another Sunderland throw.
I bet he didn't cost much.
He didn't. He wouldn't have. He's only a penny. Penny for the guy. Remember that? Penny for the. Well, I think you're a bit too young for penny for the guy.
It's ringing a bell.
It was a thing people used to do in the council estates. Used to try and get money for just making them. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Anyway, Sunderland have the ball with Bailey Wright. Bailey Wright knocks the ball down, looking for Pritchard's run, and Ipswich will look for the ball to go out. Will Pritchard keep it in? No, the defender shuffles it out for a goal kick to Ipswich.
Aaron Fisher, how about you on the live chat? Says, come on, Sunderland. Morning to DJ Earth as well. Not sure where he's watching from. Good day to Keith Lupton, watching from Western Australia. McKinney Allen, I think he's on about Diaku there, says, I think his end product was better than most. And Game Boy Ben, afternoon to you as well, who said, afternoon, Jack and Dino.
Hello. Anyway, we're back in play now. Balls coming down Sunderland's right side. It's done really well there by number 7, Burns. Burns to the byline, right, goes to whip it in, and it's cut out by Callum Doyle, which is a corner to Ipswich on the right side. Yeah, very good play there by Burns. Not quite nippy past the Sunderland player, got the byline, but Callum Doyle done really well and knocked the ball out to play for a corner kick. I don't know who's going to be taking this. I will have a look. It looks like number 8 is going to take it. Evans. Evans will take this corner. 2 minutes gone here. It's going to be whipped in. Evans plays it short, goes to the edge of the box, but Giaco's there. Giaco will try and take his man on, give the ball away. Aluko now, Aluko across the box. Keeper will come and collect it. I mean, Giaco, that was really bad by Giaco. Right?
That's the things that, I mean, it's the little simple basic things, trying to take a man on his own box just after we've defended a corner, putting us under pressure. Anyway,
Hoffman bowls the ball out to the right side to Bailey Wright. Bailey Wright knocks the ball down along to Ross Stewart, who tries to bring the ball down, but Penny heads it away. But Giorgio will try and bring it down, and he's knocked it straight out for a throw in on the halfway line to Ipswich.
He's not started brilliant.
It's 3 minutes in, man. Chill out, man.
I know. Just
chill. 3 minutes in. It takes time for players just to get into the game. Anyway, long throw in down the left side, looking for Norwood. Norwood, as he fouled the Sunderland man, the referee says no, and Flanagan will watch the ball go out for a goal kick to Sunderland.
James Foster asking if anyone's going to Ross, and we believe we are. We're not 100% sure at the minute. Saying he has a spare ticket. So if anyone wants to purchase that off James Foster, more than welcome to. And we're back to you, Dino, on commentary.
Yeah, 3 minutes gone. It looks like Hoffman's going to launch this down the middle of the pitch, looking for, I believe, have you got the score up for 0-0, by the way?
No, I haven't. Good suggestion.
Yeah. Anyway, ball's played downfield. Ross Stewart does not win the header, but Sunderland will clear the ball down the left side for a throw in to Ipswich. Not much action happening here. There's a lot of 0-0s. I mean, a lot of throw-ins happening to 0-0s. What am I talking about? There we go.
There's a lot of 0-0s in this game, like.
There really is.
Plenty of them.
But it looks like Don Dashian. It can't be Don Ashian.
Just call him D.
Call him Don Dashian.
Just call him D.
No, I call him Don Dashian. Don Dashian now with a throw-in their own half. He looks to launch ball down the line. But Sunderland it's went straight through to a Sunderland player who knocks it all the way back to Hoffman. Burns puts Hoffman under pressure. Hoffman clears the ball downfield. Ross Stewart flicks it over towards Giorgio, but it's well cut out by Penny, who Edmondson will give it all the way back to Walton, who will clear the ball upfield towards the halfway line. Sunderland win the header forward, but it's fell to Wolf Eden. Wolf Eden is under pressure by Ross Stewart. He does really well, then he plays it over to Don Dashian on the right side of the pitch. He bursts forward and gives it to Burns just on the touchline. Burns looks for Aluko, who gives it back to Don Dashian now. Don Dashian plays it to Aluko, who plays it all the way back to the halfway line to number, who's that? 50. That's Morsey. Morsey plays it over to Edmondson, who plays it over to Wolf Eden. Wolf Eden to, I don't know who that is, but Morsey, who plays the ball forward, looking for the run of Burns. Burns wins the ball, brings it down his chest, gives it to Norwood now. Norwood on the edge of the box has a shot, and he sliced it well wide and out for a throw in.
Terrible from him, really, wasn't it? Joe D is a Town fan on here. Best of luck. Thank you, Joe, for that. I wouldn't say best luck back because we are playing you.
James Foster did say, will the game go ahead on Tuesday? I honestly hope it's been called off because obviously we were going to go down and we've had a bit of bad news. So we don't know if we're
not 100%. Hopefully we're still okay.
But I wouldn't mind going down because I want us three to go down. Do you know what I mean? That was the whole day plan. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway,
so 60% of Mescal.
Love Mescal. Anyway, throw in. Penny will take the throw in it's about a couple of yards away from the Sunderland box. He throws it to Morsey. Morsey now gives it back to Penny, who has a lovely 1-2. He's getting to the byline. Winchester goes to close him down. It hits off Winchester and it's out for a corner kick.
I just had to go to the live chat. The Mad Macklem said, if we get top 2 for Christmas, can Dino's glitter ball come out of retirement?
It'll come out of retirement after the Christmas if we do this remotely. Do you know what I mean?
We'll have to, won't it?
But the thing is, though, I've already got a bet with Stephen Hensel. I says we won't go up, even though I do think we'll go up. And it's for a crate. Anyway, corner to be whipped in towards the front post. Hoffman punches it clear. It will be kept in by, I believe, Evans. Evans looks to whip it ball towards the back post, where it is one. It's actually not cleared yet. Aluko now just on the right side of the box. Plays it inside to Don Dashian, who plays it back to the outside. It's cleared away by Sunderland. Gooch with the header away, but it will fall to Morsey, who knocks it all the way back to the goalkeeper, Walton. Yeah, but me and Stephen Hensel have a little bet, so we'll see what happens.
Is this in regards to the disco lights?
No, this is for creator.
I'm not interested then.
All right. Anyway, Sunderland clear the ball. Pritchard just fell over there. He nearly recovered the ball, but Burns has it in his own half and plays it back to Wolf. And I'm going to call him Wolfie. Wolfie now. Wolfie over to Edmondson. Edmondson just turns back on the ball and goes looking for options. We are closing the options down really well. He gives it inside to Evans, who gives it back to Edmondson, who gives it back to Walton. Walton now looking for Don Dashin on the right side of the pitch. He does find him. Don Dashin looks to give it to Lugo, but it's somehow fell to Morsey now. Morsey looks for the switch. It's headed by, I believe that's Bonnie. Bonnie now does really well, but Sunderland clear the ball as Giorgio hoofs it right in the air. But Ipswich return the ball with Boney now. Boney to Lugo, who's finds himself in the middle of the park. Looks to switch it to Burns now. Burns now on the right side of the box. He's got Don Dashin on the overlap. Burns looking really well there. He goes past two players. He plays it inside. He's had a shot. Lovely 1-2. He has a shot from a tight angle. Went wide. But Burns looking dangerous.
Yeah, Ipswich are not on a bad side going forward. I mean, I think it's been quite a scrappy game. They've probably been slightly better, but they've had a couple of little moments going forward. They've just about got into a box or just challenged just a little bit. So
yeah, but for me, Burns is looking really dangerous. I mean, he looks confident. He looks like he wants to get past Doyle and Gooch. And he did there. He played a nice little 1-2 in Norwood. He gets the ball back from a tight angle. I think he just snapped at it and it went wide of the right-hand post. Goal kick to Sunderland. It's been launched forward and it's been brought down on the chest of Wolfenson. Now, Evans on the spin. He gives it out to Penny now. Penny skips past one Sunderland player, but it's recovered by Flanagan, who hit it out for a goal, for a throw into Ipswich.
Wigan are 1-0 up, by the way. They've got Oxford away today in League One, so just thought I'd update everyone on that. Thank you to DJ Earth, as always, for keeping us updated with the other scores.
Yes. Anyway, it's 8 minutes gone. We might be a couple of minutes behind here, so if there's any goal, please don't spoil it. Anyway, Evans now on the left side of the touchline. He plays it all the way back to Edmondson. Edmondson has Wolfie just inside him, but he goes back out to Penny. Penny now all the way back to Walton. Ross Short will go close down the goalkeeper, and he has, and he panicked a little bit. He gives it out to Don Dashin. Sunderland are closing down well here. Don Dashin done well and spun broadhead and gets the ball clear. Gives it inside to Norwood, who plays it down the line to Burns. Burns now with the pace. He's bursting down the right side. Will Colin Doyle get there? Burns looks to whip it to the back post. It's went over. It's a shot and it's over the bar.
Should be 1-0 Ipswich there.
It should be. Burns done really well. I think Doyle's pace is lacking there. Burns got down the line, whips it in. He just misses Boney's head, but I think Norwood was at the back post. I mean, we tried to close him down. That came from 3 passes.
That was a good move from Ipswich, though, to be fair. Came all the way from right back, went back into the centre of the pitch. Within about 4 or 5 seconds, Burns is into the box, puts a good ball into the back post, and there, Pelly, who came in at the back post there.
I don't even know who that is.
He took that very poorly. I think you get that on target, and
it's goal.
Good chance it's going in. Yeah. I think it should be 1-0 Ipswich there, to be honest.
Yeah, it should be.
A little bit of a let-off there for us, wasn't it?
It was a nice move. It was 4 passes and they were in. Anyway, ball clear up to Rossiter. Rossiter flicks the ball onto Giorgio now. Giorgio just spins on the halfway line. There's a bit of a miscommunication with Carl Winchester. Comes away with the ball. He done really well. Gives it back out to Giorgio on the right side. Giorgio to Bailey Wright. Bailey Wright does a lovely little fake and gives it back to Giorgio. He's got Rossiter in front of him. He looks to play the ball towards the back post and it's went high and wide now for a goal kick. Wasteful from Giorgio, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. The little things like that. Just very quickly though, 87 people watching. 35 likes. If you haven't already, please do give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. See if we can get there 100 for the end of the stream. And if you haven't already as well, please do subscribe to the channel. It is free to do so, and you won't miss out on any of our future streams or videos. Back to you, Gino.
11 minutes gone here, and Walton will take this goal kick. Walton plays the ball up towards, I think that was Norwood, and it went straight out for a Sunderland throw in and we're on half. I mean, Broadhead hasn't gotten into the game yet. There's a lot of players in the Sunderland team. Pritchard. I mean, I think Ipswich have had the best of the play. Anyway, Gooch throws it in towards Roster. Roster flicks it into the middle of the park where it's cleared by Morsey. Morsey clears it, and it's 2 Ipswich players onto 1. Callum Doyle, there's a bit of handbags there. The referees. Actually, no, I think he's giving a free kick to Sunderland.
Oh, yeah, almost certainly. Well done, Ref.
Yeah, Norwood and Doyle collided there a little bit, and Norwood he thought it was going to be a penalty, but apparently not. And the referee's given a free kick to Sunderland. There was a little bit of a
the after's there a little bit, isn't he? I think they're going shoulder to shoulder, and then he pushes Doyle after. I think that's fair enough. Good decision from the ref there.
Yeah, so free kick to Sunderland just in our penalty box. Hoffman's telling Flanagan to go along. Flanagan didn't look too happy.
Flannel man, he's probably saying.
Hoffman plays it up to Roster. Roster wins the header, but it's headed away by Ipswich only to the Sunderland player, and Morsey clears the ball. Bonnie will give chase, but I do believe he's offside, but it's being given an advantage. So play on. Bailey Wright has the ball now. plays it inside to Winchester, looks for Giorgio on the outside. He does find him.
Good
Took
ball.
a little deflection. Giorgio now with a pace, tries to get past Penny. Penny's keeping up with him. Penny's done really well there and just got his body between the ball and cleared the ball to Aluko now. Aluko with nice feet, skips past Winchester and gives it out to the left side to Penny. Penny now switches the ball, but it's cut out by Lyndon Gooch, brought down by Broadhead, who has some nice feet, but he's crowded out, and Norwood comes away with the ball. He gives it out to Penny. Penny now is tackled, but it's nearly fall to Norwood, but Callum Doyle clears the ball off his foot in the way to the half-line.
So yeah, it did well to actually get a foot in there, but it put us under a bit of pressure. I just think that they're a little bit more physical than us. They're a bit quicker, they're a bit stronger, a bit more on our faces.
I was expecting this. I don't know why. I was just expecting this from Ipswich.
There was a comment in the live chat I was going to make. DJ said Ipswich all over us, and then SR4Q said, looks like they're up for a new manager and probably want to impress, which I think is possibly a fair assumption. They look as if they're really up for it today and as if they're wanting to get out of sort. And let's get the part started.
And there's a goalkeeper down. Oh, Hoffman's down.
Well, I was going to say we've got some good news. Tony Lee's joined us, says, all right, two of these. Hello, Tony. We hope you're doing well. But a bit of bad news. Hoffman not injured. Is it Patterson, the goalkeeper on the bench?
Yeah, Patterson is the goalkeeper on the bench today. Very inexperienced. People want to see him in the team. I still think he needs to. I know he was out on loan for a month, but he needs to have a full season of football. I don't think we should have recalled him, mate. I know Burge is injured, but surely as a number two, Carney would have been good enough to at least sit on the bench. I don't know anything about Carney.
No, I know, but if he's not good enough to at least sit on our bench and probably never make an appearance until Burge is back fit, then what's the point of having him in the under-23s? The lad's 20-year-old now.
I know he needs to get some football in him. I mean, going on loan. I mean, that done wonders for Jordan Pickford. Look where Pickford is at the minute.
Henderson as well.
Yeah, like these players. For some reason, we send our players out on loan for a month. I'm sorry, in a month's worth of football, you might play twice, maybe three times, if that.
I think we should have just kept Patterson out on loan, and then if Hoffman was to then pick up an injury at the same time Burge did, then you can recall him. But surely, in the meantime, Carney was good enough to just sit on our bench and essentially not really do anything.
Can I ask you, do you know as a referee, do you know how there's a rule if a player goes down and gets treated, he has to go off the pitch? Why is it not, I know it sounds that, but why is it not the same for goalkeepers as well?
It's been changed. You can get treatment on the pitch, I think, as long as it's not going to take too long.
Every time I've seen a physio come on the pitch, the referee always orders him to go to the side of the pitch. But when it comes to goalkeepers, it never does.
Wait. I mean, just trying to think of a common sense, but you probably could. It's more, isn't it, to stop the game for a goal? It's different. You need your goalkeeper on the pitch, don't you?
True. Anyway, it's 15 minutes if you want to take.
Well, I'll be taking over then. Throw it up the line. Tom Flanagan is there to answer it. Sends it back forward. Pritchard tried to win it, but Luke got there instead. Flicks it over to Don
Dashing, your player.
Donasian, who finds Burns up the line. Up against Broadhead. Broadhead does put a foot in. Ball goes out, and I believe it's an Ipswich Town throw in, about halfway between the halfway line and the edge of the box. Out on their right-hand side. Our left, it goes straight back to Don Dashin, who managed to come inside with it a little bit. He plays it over to, I think that's Morsey now, over towards the left-hand side. I think that's Penny with the ball now. Ipswich with a fair amount of possession on the ball, gets swung towards the box. It's taken down by Burns out on this right-hand side with his very long hair up against Lyndon Gooch. Takes a touch to try and get past him. Good feed from Burns. Does get past Gooch. Puts a ball towards the back post. Headed away by Bailey Wright, who claimed that one very well. Gooch beaten. No, it wasn't beaten easy, but Gooch beaten out there on the right-hand side. But actually, I think Burns did well to beat him. He's not a dangerous player so far.
He is. He's got good feet. He's nippy. He looks quick. He actually looks like a really decent player at this level. Ipswich
are looking good. I mean, Burns a couple of times has caused problems down that right-hand side. Luke is being about, nice little feet here and there. Corner gets swung and it's an in-swinger. It's headed away again, though, once again by Bailey Wright. Although Ipswich plays protesting because it's been given as a goal kick. Wasn't 100% sure myself, but we'll take it nonetheless. Torben Hoffman, who was down, injured, of course, only a few moments ago, lining up to take this one for Sunderland. It's got Flanagan and Doyle in his box. He knocks it short to Flanagan. He's got Dan Nail just ahead of who he could find. Flanagan still with the ball. Sends it long, probably looking for Ross Stewart, who couldn't quite find Stewart, couldn't quite get ahead on it, and the ball goes all the way back, eventually to Walton in goal. Walton, left-footed ball, swung forward. It's headed away. only as far as Bailey Wright, who tried to send up the line, but Diaku couldn't quite get there. Out for Ipswich Town throw in. Steve M73 saying we're not in this in a period of possession. I think I would agree with that. And it's Shrewsbury 1, Cheltenham 1, so 2 goals already in that game over there. Johnny Cool says get a goal and they will implode, apparently. So Ipswich due to take us through, and it's Penny short too. I think that's Morsey back to an Ipswich defender and all the way back to Walton in goal. Broadhead with the impressive pressing. Walton sends it long. Flanagan is able to take it down and finds Gooch at left back. Lyndon Gooch beats Lugo quite well with a nice little touch, sends it infield. Broadhead picks the ball up. Sharp turn, coming forward, sends it out wide to Leon Diagu. Out on this right-hand side, he's got Neil inside who he does find. Dan Neil about 25 yards from goal. Tried to fight, did find Stewart. Stewart tried to play a ball in behind, didn't really come off. And it's out for a goal kick. We're just starting to get a little bit more into this game the last few moments, I think.
Yeah, not really. I mean, we tried something there. I mean, Ross Stewart tried to do a nice little flick, but no one ran onto it. There was no run from Giacomo or no far run from Broadhead. So I don't know what it is. It feels like we're a little bit low on confidence in this game at the minute. We are playing away from home, and we all know we don't do very well away from home for some reason.
No, our away form has been quite shocking, I think, really this season, especially compared to the home form. Goalkeeper sends it long. It's flicked on by an Ipswich player, but only as far as Bailey Wright, who sends it long for Sunderland. Stewart is able to knock it down to Winchester, who sends it out on the right-hand side to Diaku, who did get there first and manages to win a throw-in for Sunderland out on this right-hand side, which Bailey Wright has jogged upfield to take. Right to take this one then. Up the line to Stewart, back to Bailey Wright. Tries to knock it forward, but only out for an Ipswich throw-in out on the left-hand side. It's thrown back, and it goes... Does it go all the way back to Walton? Not quite. Nice little turn from the Ipswich centre-half there. Good bit of pressure from Stewart in the box. Nice little turn, keeps the ball for Ipswich, however. It's knocked down only as far as Diaku, who knocks it back to Bailey Wright. Wright sends it forward. Stewart finds Diaku on the right-hand side. Nice little ball. Diaku puts a lovely ball in towards Broadhead's path. Broadhead couldn't quite get there. Defender just put his body in the way of it. And Ipswich already trying to get on the attack. It's Burns out on the right-hand side after Walton threw the ball to him. Burns dinks it over the halfway line into number 18, who fits it back into Burns. Burns out on his right-hand side, deep into a half, tries to put a ball in the box. Dan Neil blocking it out for an Ipswich corner, but they're looking a good side going forward, like Ipswich.
Burns, everything's going through Burns. Burns just looks on it. Do you know that? Just one player. If anyone's going to score, it'll be Burns.
Or create.
It looks like Burns is the one who's going to either create or score the goal. Anyway, corner kick.
Burns, baby Burns. Burns is on fire. Right arm goes up from Ipswich's number 8, who takes his right-footed outswinger corner. It's headed away out, and I think it's been given as a Sunderland goal kick. I wasn't 100% sure who the last touch came off. But we'll take it nonetheless. Hoffman then to take a goal kick for Sunderland. McKaylee and Allen joining in on the Burns joke, says they're going to burn him out. Yep. Hoffman to take this one then.
It's going off it on this stream today.
It is.
I'm sorry, man. Yeah, my scalp.
Hoffman then to take this goal kick for Sunderland. He's ordered these players to move up the field a little bit, and he does kick along. The ball goes over the halfway line, only met by an Ipswich head, though. It's taken down by their forward. Dan Neil finds the ball, finds Stewart. Pritchard got in the way of the pass, aiming for Broadhead. Broadhead recovers the ball and finds Dan Neil out. On the left-hand side is Gooch now. Goes forward to Broadhead, who still got the ball. Pritchard picks up another loose ball. Lugo now trying to drive through the centre. He's got loads of red and white shirts around him, and Gooch does well to get a foot in and win the ball back. Winchester picks up the loose ball, finds Bailey Wright, who sends it up the line to Diaku, who, nice little touch there, brings the ball down under control, gives it to Flanagan, who gives it to Winchester, bringing the ball over the halfway line. Now he finds Pritchard, Neil, Gooch. Sunderland moving the ball with a little bit more pace now, a little bit more intent, knocks it back to Dan Neil just inside our own half. Winchester, nice little turn in the centre circle, lets the ball roll over him. He finds Diaku out on the right-hand side. Diaku back to Winchester, who goes into Ross Stewart. Now it's with Diaku out on the right-hand side. Goes infield to Ross Stewart. Stewart aims to hit it from distance and well over the bar already. That was never going to challenge.
I think when you're having a shot from that far out, either you're really, really confident or you've just run out of ideas.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
I mean, we'll move the ball around really, really well there. There's some nice little bits of interplay there. Ross Stewart coming deep, playing out wide. Giorgio with some nice touches, playing it simple, making them 5-yard passes, which he couldn't make last couple of weeks ago. So we're getting a little bit of a foothold, but we just haven't created anything yet.
Yeah, I think we're slowly edging our way into the game a little bit. You want us to be a bit quicker in doing so, but we are getting there. Doyle is the first to answer that header into nowhere from an Ipswich player. Ball's bobbling around a little bit in the middle. And it's a Sunderland free kick. Winchester winning the ball. And I think it's a little bit of a late challenge from the blue shirt. So Sunderland free kick just inside Ipswich's half towards his left-hand side. Dan Neil looking as if he's going to take this one. I would imagine he'll just pass it off to someone. Although he does look to switch it. He plays a nice little lofted ball over towards Bailey Wright, who didn't quite take it down perfectly first time. He tried to find someone up ahead of him, but he couldn't quite do so. Ipswich players skipping through a few Sunderland players now. Winchester does well to get his body in between him and the ball, does very well to recover that ball and finds Flanagan, who looks to send it long. And Pritchard was pushing the back there as he won the ball. Sunderland free kick inside our own half, but Winchester did well there. Got back, recovered the ball well and played it off nicely.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky it was Edmondson who was running with the ball, the centre-back. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was the one running down the left side. Clearly, he's a defender. He's not a midfielder, so we're quite lucky it wasn't Burns running down the wing, or we would have been in trouble. Winchester done well. Got his body.
He would have burnt us live, him.
100%.
With the stick.
And Winchester done well to get the do his defending, but we're back and play there, Jack.
Yes, Tom Flanagan with the ball after this free kick. He's looking at where to pass. He brings the ball forward a little bit. He looks a bit hesitant. He plays a nice little lofted ball over with his left foot into the path of Diaco. But as Dino pointed out, the German is offside of slightly, so Ipswich will have this indirect free kick then out on the left-hand side for them.
He's a mile off, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was quite far offside there, but Walton will look to take this. Super Local Raw says, morning lads, from a chilly -20, which is -26 wind chill. There are no brass monkeys to be found. And hello to James Foster's 4-year-old brother, Daniel. So I assume Daniel Foster is his name. Hello to you, but we're back in play. Free kick goes all the way back to Hoffman, actually, who retrieves the ball. Just deciding where to play it to. He's probably going to knock a shot at Flanagan here, I would imagine. Which he does do. He drops the ball for Flanagan to pick up. Not got a lot of options, really. Plays it across the box to Callum Doyle, who's touch. Let him down a little bit. And you'd put your house on Callum Doyle just controlling that and playing it off nicely every time, wouldn't you? But wasn't to be. Ipswich throwing out on the right-hand side. Lugo back to Dondassian inside of Burns, who tried to find Dondassian again, but Gooch read it well and intervened, brought it as the ball deep. Knocks it into Dan Neil, who turns nicely and finds Gooch. Gooch tried to send up the line, but Lugo was there to block. Gooch getting forced at his own corner flag. Nice, well, it was looked like a nice little back heel, but only an Ipswich player. Ball in the box, headed away, only as far as Winchester, who gets another knock on it into Diaco. And this game's getting really physical now. Sunderland trying to get a strong hold on possession and make things happen, but it just seems if every time we do get the ball and we're moving forward, Ipswich are just a little bit more physical than us, aren't they?
For me, I mean, I can put blame on Johnson because he's clearly told the lads to play out from the back this time, because we are trying to do it from a goal kick. So if we do concede, I can happily blame Johnson.
It's about knowing when to do it and when to not. And I think today's a good example of when not to do it, because Ipswich have matched our playing off the back really well with the press. But Burns is cutting inside now on this right hand side up against Gooch. Gooch does well to just get in the way and slow down his cross, and Doyle's able to clear it away. It's headed back towards our box though, and Doyle, balls went out in the end. Doyle put a little bit of pressure on. I think that was, I don't know, Norwood who tried to kick the ball in, but unable to do so. And it's a Sunderland goal kick.
27 minutes gone, still 0-0. I mean, Sunderland haven't even really created a chance yet. I mean, what's their best chance, would you say? Probably Burns.
Probably on Burns. Playing nice at the 1-2, got in the box and hit the side net, and didn't he?
So a bit of it. Oh, Flanagan.
Yeah, look, stopped it out for the back now. They're putting us under too much pressure. Flanagan there, he was getting, pressed very well by the Ipswich player and played it back to Hoffman, but that could have very easily ended up in an Ipswich goal. I just think this time you can play up from the back and this time you can't. Today's a prime example of a team that's clearly done the homework far too well and they know how we're due to play. Free kick anyway. Ipswich it is taken. It's out on the left-hand side now, which Penny takes down. He's coming away from his own goal. He knocks it back to an Ipswich centre-half in their own half. It's over to Dondassian, who's just over the halfway line, into Burns out the right-hand side. Nice little turn away from Broadhead. He has a good player, him. Dondassian back to Wolfenden, I believe that is, over towards the other centre-half. Ipswich just knocking the ball about the defence a little bit now. Lofted ball towards our left-hand side. Only goes out for Sunderland to win, which I imagine Lyndon Gooch will take. Ian on the live chat says, how are the lads? 2 away it is. I've had, we're probably in Sheffield. Let's hope we beat these lot 3 or 4 today. How are the lads? Doesn't look as if it's going that way, but apologies. So that's the only 2 experiences of away games. Really not 2 nice ones to pick out. Ipswich playing the ball between themselves and the defensive areas quite nicely. The long ball goes forward. Norwood takes it down, but he is offside. 92 people watching. 49 likes. If you haven't already, please do give us a thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up icon. Give us a like. It is free to do so. Subscribe to the channel. It's free to do so as well. You won't miss any of our future live streams and videos. So if you would like to do both of those, it is free to do both of which, and it will be greatly appreciated. So if we get 100 likes before the end of the stream. Hoffman to take this free kick then, just in front of our own box. He does kick it long, looking for the head of Ross Stewart, who he does find. Stewart trying to flick it onto someone. No one's there to retrieve the ball, really. It's flicked on a few times by Ipswich. Diaku picks up a loose ball, finds Dan Neil, who goes forward to Pritchard, who does well to just find Bailey Wright and keep possession. Now, Wright looked for the run of Dan Neil up the right-hand side. He couldn't quite do so. Ipswich trying to play out now, but Bailey Wright and Pritchard do want to put a bit of pressure on Ipswich. Have managed to come away with the ball, though, actually. Just coming over the halfway line now. Aluko plays the ball out towards the left-hand side. Ipswich have done well to build a really strong attack here. The ball goes into the box. It comes to Burns, just making his way in. Good block from Doyle after Gooch. Couldn't quite get in the way of it. Burns' header finds Aluko, who chests it down. He finds Dondassian inside Aluko, who's got a lot of time. Dinks the ball into the box, and Hoffman is able to collect it quite well. Hoffman rolls it short at Winchester in the centre. Who could play it out towards the right-hand side. He finds Bailey Wright at right back. Goes forward to Ross Stewart. Ipswich putting far too much pressure on us to play out from the back here. Stewart's had to come into almost at a right wing-back role, really. Just get, lads, I don't understand why we're trying to play out from the back. I got you in just a moment and the next time ball's out of play, but we seem to be trying to pass up the field, and the pressure that Ipswich are putting on us, they're just boxing us in far too much. It's not really working. Dan Neil has the ball now for Sunderland and looks to find Broadhead out on the left-hand side, who he couldn't quite find. It's headed by Dondassian out of play as a hand back over to Dean for the last 15 minutes.
I mean, we are putting ourselves under so much pressure, and that does come down to Johnson, because clearly Johnson is telling them to try and play out from the back, but it's not working. So I'm hoping he's going to change our tactic, because it's not working. If we concede today, we can't have anyone to blame but ourselves, because we've persisted with a tactic that's quite clearly putting us under a little bit of pressure. But that is coming from Johnson, though. Yeah, 100%. He's got to be able to communicate that message to the lads now, to say, look, stop, play football a different way. Yeah, anyway, Norwood plays the ball inside, but it's too far for Morsey, and Winchester will reclaim the ball on the halfway line now. Winchester plays it out to Broadhead. Broadhead just cuts inside. He's under pressure. He gives it back to Daniel, gives it out to Gooch. Gooch inside to Pritchard. Pritchard looks for the flick, but it doesn't work, and Morsey clears the ball away. And is the referee going to give a free kick there? And there is a Sunderland player down. And the referee has blown for a head injury. I don't know. I think that's Ross Stewart. Is that Ross Stewart? I believe that is. No, it's Lyndon Gooch. Lyndon Gooch down, holding his head. Because Lyndon Gooch there went to sprint towards the ball, and he's collided with Morsey. Ooh, looks like an elbow there, Looks like he caught with an elbow. But yeah, we are putting ourselves under a lot of pressure. Do you know what it is? I think we'd appreciate the few-minute break, to be honest, that an injured player would bring. Just to stop, catch our breath. Yeah, for a second and maybe reassess things. I honestly think I've mentioned it a couple of times, but it's a slight shift in tactic. Don't get us wrong, the intent is there from Morsey, but it looks quite soft. He does chuck his arms towards him, but it's not at the pace where it's like, yeah, it's not too hard. And obviously Johnson looks like he might get a yellow card, yeah. Johnson arguing with the ref. I mean,
Some things in life are inevitable. Death, taxes, and Lee Johnson arguing with League One officials.
And having his hands in his pockets, as people like.
Oh God, he better get them out. I won't be very happy with him. God knows what he's doing with his hands in his pockets.
It is cold out there, to be fair.
Baby, it's cold outside. Getting in the festive spirit of things.
But it is 32.5 minutes gone. There'll probably be a couple of minutes added towards the end. Looks like the referee might do a drop ball, yeah.
Not sure what he's doing. He might also just be giving the ball back to Ipswich. He knocks it down to Burns and
Burns will give it back to Walton, the keeper.
So Ipswich just getting the ball back, really, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I think they did have a ball anyway. He gives it back out to Burns on this right side. Burns now just moving the ball down the line. He was looking for the run of Norwood. Norwood just headed down to... No, it was Bonnie who headed it down to Norwood, but Sunderland claimed the ball with Doyle. Doyle inside to Daniel, who turns away from Norwood, plays it inside to Ross Stewart. Now Ross Stewart flicks it over to Winchester, who finds himself on the right side, who gives it to Giorgio. Now Giorgio back to Bailey, right just outside the box. He gives it to Tom Flanagan, who gives it back to Hoffman. Hoffman over to Doyle, and hashtag Ask Danny has come on the screen. Doyle now just turns back towards the goalkeeper and gives it to Tom Flanagan. Tom Flanagan under pressure by Norwood, who gives it to Hoffman, who plays it out to Dan Neal now.
That was a good example of playing out from the back and how to do it well because we've kept the ball. But the problem is that a few too many times Ipswich have nearly nicked possession in our own box.
Yeah. And anyway, Doyle's just played the ball straight out for a throw in to Ipswich. We had that little spell where our passing was quite neat and tidy, and now we've lost that passing again. It's turned back into scrappiness. And again, it just looks like it's just look more comfortable than us.
Yeah, they do. They look as if we're almost in the palm of the hand a little bit, and I think actually you saw them quite well. They're more comfortable than us. They're more settled in the game.
Yeah. Anyway, the ball has been played down the middle of the pitch towards Broadhead, and Ipswich have knocked the ball out for a Sunderland throw in just where Lee Johnson. And Lee Johnson looks like he's pulled a muscle. Or he was,
the only thing he's pulling.
He was taking the mick. I think all the.
He's a joker.
He's a joker.
Our LJ.
Joker with his hands in his pockets. Anyway, Gooch will take this throw in now. And he throws it to Ross Stewart, who gives it back to Lyndon Gooch, who plays the ball forward. It's went straight over Morsey's head, all the way to Edmondson. Edmondson will bring the ball away in defence. He runs past Pritchard. He goes to the halfway line. He plays it over to Penny now. Penny has Giorgio for company.
Again, he didn't cost much.
He didn't. I think you need to stop that joke. Anyway, he gives it back to Edmondson, who plays the ball down to Norwood, who flicks the ball down to Evans, but he is tackled there. And there's another flying challenge went in there. Is it a free kick to Sunderland? Or yes, there's a bit of a scuffle going on here.
Happens every game, this, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Kicking off, Pritchard's getting pushed a little bit, and Broadhead's, lads, man.
Put the handbags away. We all know you aren't going to do anything. But I don't know if it was a late challenge or just a high challenge, but it didn't look good because it just got caught off camera. But the reaction of the Sunderland players just shows that. We're going to see here. Flanagan puts a foot in. It's a bit scrappy. Ooh, that's Evans there.
It's just Flanagan's in the way of the camera a little bit.
Yeah. He looks like he scissors him. He scissors Giorgio. Could be potentially a yellow card. I don't think it'll be a red card. I'm sure the last time... Was there a red card the last time we played these, or was that last season?
I seem to remember one against Ipswich, but I don't think it was the last time, which was only a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was definitely no red card in this. But what's the referee going to do? There was a lot of handballs, a lot of overreactions, I would say. Hopefully Giorgio was okay.
Whilst that is getting sorted, we're going to quickly glance back to the live chat. Mad Macklem on there saying, God's sake, try the long ball, shake it up, LJ, before they score. I think that's kind of what we're saying, really, isn't it?
Not go long ball, just stop playing out from the back. You can knock it out to midfield instead of knock it out to defence. Anyway, the referee is going to deal with this. He has called Evans over. Just having a word with him.
Just quickly, elsewhere in League One, it is Oxford 1, Wigan 2, after Wigan doubled the lead and went 2-0 up. Oxford have clawed one back. Salford 1, Stevenage 0 as well, if that matters to anyone.
No yellow card for Evans. The referee's just had a talk to him. But there could be some yellow cards going for the afters between Pritchard, Norwood, and whoever else was involved. He has called over Morsey and Bailey Wright, who are the captains of both teams. Morsey. He's just having a word with him now. He's messaging me.
Probably no one.
No one. It's a funny old number, that 55 for the captain.
I was just about to say, for a centre midfielder, like senior player who's probably in his late 20s or so. It's a strange number to pick out and choose, isn't it?
It is anyway. Yep, no cards have been given. Giotto is still receiving treatment. I think there will be a lot of added time at the end of the half. I'm just glad. I just hope he's all right. He doesn't look good. Like he looks like he's in a bit of pain.
I mean, if Giotto was to be forced off the pitch, I'm just going to try and get our bench back up there, really. Embleton, Hume, and O'Brien probably amongst the names that would potentially replace him. I think maybe Hume and put Gooch out on the right hand side if Hume's fit enough to come back. That is.
Yeah, you got a point. I mean, even Kim York, probably not.
No,
York,
no. I never want to see him play for Sunderland ever again. I can't stand
I must
him.
admit,
He's a terrible footballer with an even worse attitude. How he's still got a contract at this club, it absolutely baffles me.
Looks like Giotto's going to be forced off. He's limping really heavily. It was a heavy challenge, and it looks like it has injured him. Unfortunately, it does look like it might be the end of Giotto. Looks like he might have snapped his leg, though.
Yeah, that really doesn't look healthy. Hoffman tried to help him limp off the pitch, but they're asking for more assistance from the sideline.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a stretcher.
Physio was doing that, I assume. Yeah, stretcher.
Looks like a stretcher. I think when he's stood up, I think maybe something's popped, or there's a bone sticking out, maybe because it looks serious. I mean, look at Hoffman. Hoffman's waving.
Yeah, Hoffman looks a little bit concerned, a little bit nervous about it also. But unfortunately for Sunderland,
another injury.
Another injury. It doesn't look good. We hope Giotto is okay, of course. Looks as if he's going to have to come off then. We've got Alves, Embleton, O'Brien, Patterson, Younger, Hume, Kim York on the bench.
Evans. It doesn't look good, does
It's
it?
a little bit late. I'm not really 100% sure where the injuries came from. It might have been the way he's landed. It might have been the way Morty's got Evans came in.
It looks like scissors. It looks like he's got his foot, like, you know, when you do the scissors where your foot gets stuck between the...
Yeah.
And I'm guessing the weight is probably buckled his knee, or maybe done a Jibril Cisse. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure we'll find out. Oh,
there's a golf cart on the pitch.
They've brought a lovely little contraption. I'm sure you would love to drive that, Dean.
I've drove one.
Oh, of course he has. He's driven everything, this lad.
But yeah, it's not looking good for Giotto. And if that's a snap leg, that's horrific. I mean, I don't know if anyone else is watching this can have the commentary on and hear what they're saying, but it's not looking good. When the stretcher's on the pitch, it's clearly something serious.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't even able to hobble off the sideline.
Yeah.
So
I think he put his foot down and they realised something just wasn't right.
Yeah.
But they have picked him back up. What are they going to do? Are they going to sit him on the buggy? Don't see they brought the buggy on them. What are they doing? Oh, he's sitting on the back of the bus.
Yeah, he can't put his right leg straight.
Yeah. They're zooming in to see, I mean, can you see anything out of the ordinary there?
I mean, nothing to that, really. So his knee looks... It looks as if there's a problem with his knee or his leg.
It's just a problem.
Yeah. Just looking at the bench, Alves, Embleton, O'Brien, Patterson, you never know.
It looks like an
Younger, Hume and Kim York on the bench.
I think probably what you're best off doing is probably Hume on the left and Gooch out on the right wing back. Probably your best option. I don't think you could bring O'Brien or Embleton on unless you change the formation. And Giotto's in tears.
He looks as if he's in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he's either in a lot of pain and he's in absolute tears because that could be his season over. You know what I mean? 20-year-old, he's in a new country, he's on loan, he wants to make an impression. And he's just been forced off of looks like a bad injury.
Yeah. I mean, I think bringing Hume on and putting Gooch out on the right-hand side is probably our best bet. I could also see Embleton coming on and putting Winchester out.
You've got options. You've got options. It just depends on what you want to do. Do you want to play it safe and just have normal Gooch on right wing back, or do you want to put Winchester there and then bring on Embleton and go in the middle? I mean, you do have the odd option there, but we need to make it. We're down to 10 minutes at the minute. We haven't even made the substitution yet.
No.
Anyway, the ball's back in play now.
We have Hume's on the pitch.
Hume's on the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Denver Hume is on the pitch, so it looks like you were right. It looks like Gooch out on the right. Yep, because there's Gooch there and Denver Hume at left wing back. Anyway, talking about Gooch has just played the ball back to Bailey Wright, who launches the ball forward. Wolfie heads the ball over to the right side, and it's out for a Sunderland throw in, which will be taken by Lyndon Gooch. Lyndon Gooch throws it to Roster. Roster just brings the ball down, turns inside, skips past one player, but he is tackled by Penny, and he's given the free kick away.
He didn't even try and make that look discreet, did he? Clearly just tripped him up.
Brought him down. Free kick at Ipswich. 42 minutes gone here. It's been a bit of a drab game, to be fair. Nothing's really been exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Ipswich have got forward a few times and they're pretty quick in the final third, but it has been pretty scrappy, pretty uneventful.
Everything for Ipswich just came down the right side with Burns, and Sunderland haven't really done much attacking anyway at all. And Burns is putting Hume under pressure here. He's actually took the ball off Hume, but he's knocked out for a corner instead of a goal kick instead of a throw in.
I was going to say, it'd be pretty deep for us to have a corner from.
Yeah, that's very true. But Burns is he's their danger man at the minute, and to be fair, we haven't really had one.
No, I don't really think there's anyone who have played through. It's quite clearly Ipswich, their main outlet is Burns out on the right-hand side. I don't think we've got someone, not today anyway, who I've noticed who's been like that.
Anyway, goal kick has went over everyone. Broadhead brings it down. He skips away from two players. He does really well, Broadhead. He's driving towards the box. He's got Hume on the left side. He's fell over, but Pritchard recovers the ball and gives it out to Dan Neil about 20 yards out. He forces it to Ross Stewart on the right side, who brings the ball down nicely, but he is tackled by Edmondson in the end, who will... As he give the ball away, Sunderland will retain the balls. Very good pressure there by Gooch.
There's a poor touch, right? I mean, Gooch, you welcome when the ball's poor touch from the Ipswich.
Gooch skips past two players. He's in the box. Man. He's got Pritchard inside. He looks for Pritchard. It's blocked out by the Ipswich player, but it comes back out to Gooch. Gooch whips the ball towards the back post. It's headed away by the defender. Don Dashing will clear, and Norwood will flip the ball on.
There was just a few too many Ipswich players in the box there, I think, for anything that happened, wasn't there?
There was. Dan Neil doing really well there. Skips away from Luke. Gives it to Pritchard. Pritchard over to Denver Hume. Denver Hume is tackled by Don Dashian, and it is a throw into Sunderland, and Don Dashian's went down.
When Don Dashian went to tackle Hume, I could just see Hume staying down after him being injured. I had visions of it already.
44 minutes gone. Sunderland have a throw in just near the corner flag on the left side. Some nice play there. I thought it was a bit scrappy, but Sunderland fought for that ball and got the ball, and we nearly created something anyway. Denver Hume. Is he number 33 still? He looks like a different number. Yeah. Looks like a different number, but the numbers are weird this year. Anyway, throw it to Sunderland. He throws it to Pritchard and gives it back to Hume now. Hume, will he go? He goes on the outside, looks to whip it in. This took a deflection, and Ipswich will clear the ball, but it's only went as far as Bailey Wright, who heads it towards Dan Neil. It's a bit scrappy, but Ipswich, the tackles are flying in here. Luko comes with the ball. He's under pressure by Dan Neil. Luko does really well. He shoves him away. He plays the ball down towards Penny. Penny does a nice little turn and goes past Gooch. He's got Gooch and Winchester on his tail. And Sunderland have won the throw-in. A free kick, sorry. Sunderland win a free kick. I thought Penny was fouled there, to be fair.
I don't know, it would have been a little bit soft, but it's been given now.
It's scrappy there, wasn't it? There was a lot of tackles going in. No one could get the ball under control.
I think Ipswich have came for a scrappy game, and I think we've not really been able to override that. They've wanted things to be a little bit haphazard, and I think we've just kind of let it happen. Yeah,
there's still a long way to go. It's 45 minutes gone. Just waiting to see how long we've got left. Anyway,
a lot, I think, about 5 minutes probably.
Sunderland do 7 minutes of added time. Broadhead tries to bring the ball down. It has fallen to Pritchard, but his touches let him down, and Ipswich come away with the ball with Luko. Luko flicks it over to Don Dashian at right back. Don Dashian looking for a ball forward, looking for the run of Boney, but it's headed away by Tom Flanagan, and it's a throw in to Ipswich about 30 yards away from the box.
7 minutes of added time. I mean, there has been a lot of stoppages in this game. Diaka's injury being one. And just in general, there's been a couple of times players have went down and things happened. It's not really flowed, this game.
Anyway, they're coming through now with Boney on the right side of the penalty box. He plays it into the middle. Norwood with a header. It's a goal for Ipswich on the stroke of half time, and it was a very nice through ball for Boney. Boney plays it towards the back post, and Norwood just heads it and hits the bar and goes in. It's 1-0 to Ipswich, unfortunately. What a time to get. I mean, it all came from a throw-in. He gives it to Burns. Burns plays it inside to Luko, who plays it to Morsey. Morsey with a lovely through ball. Flanagan's playing them all on side. No, Bailey Wright playing them all on side. It hit Doyle, and it bounced, and it went over Bailey Wright's head. And
I mean, it was a good move from Ipswich, to be fair, from the throw-in. There was a few nice passes they've been playing, and they've been doing that all half, really, and we seem to have failed to find a way to nullify them, and I just think we got caught a little bit all over it. Doyle and Flanagan seem to, not really be in a cohesive kind of position with each other. One seems to be here, one seems to be there. Not much communication going on.
Yeah,
they've found a little gap. They've put a ball in. Doyle, to be fair to him, he did the right thing by going and trying to stop it. But in the end, it's actually hit him, and
the bounces.
it's created the bounce created the goal, and the players, you know, it was Norwood when the header in the end. But I think
there's another player down. Who's that? Just hit the floor anyway. Pritchard tries to go past a couple of players, and it's throwing to Ipswich. And
just on that, I think Bailey Wright was just caught a little bit flat-footed there. Really, he didn't know whether he was coming or he was going, and Norwood comes in behind and wins the header. It's
the bounce on him. If anything, if that bounce didn't happen, Bailey Wright would have cleared it because it was a low one. Mm-hmm. But the bounce has just done Bailey Wright like a proper kipper, and Ipswich find themselves 1-0 up. I mean, to be fair, it's been coming. It has been coming.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ipswich have been, you know, they have been the better team in the first half so far. They've actually had a couple of little half chances here and there. We've not really created anything per se. They've had probably the bulk of the possession, and they've pressed us well. They've stopped what we are doing. And in the same breath, they've managed to get forward and have their own little few nice moments. So I think that goal probably has been coming a little bit. We've just failed to nullify their pace, and you know, going forward, they move the ball very slick. In the lead of that goal,
Sunderland coming down the right side now. Broadhead plays it into Pritchard in the middle, who flicks it over to Denver Hume into the middle. It's been cleared by Ipswich. Dundash and Hume.
Why do that?
I know. As a referee hasn't even given a free kick.
Oh, God.
Hume, that was a blatant free kick on Dundashian. There's an Ipswich player down in the box. Good move by Sunderland. Pritchard done really well to find Denver Hume. Denver Hume plays it into the middle, got cleared, and Edmondson finds himself on the floor.
Dino sorted it out.
See what I mean?
Nice little ball from Pritchard, that good vision.
Edmondson finds himself on the floor. That should have been a free kick all day to Raduco, but apparently not. Anyway, Sunderland have a throw in just on line with the 18-yard box.
And I would just like to say that we're 1-0 down after 48 minutes, and calls of Johnson out. If I can.
You know what I mean? Anyway, Sunderland have the ball with Denver Hume. Denver Hume cuts inside, plays it out to Pritchard. Winchester. Winchester over to Bailey Wright. Bailey Wright finds himself very high up. He gives it to Gooch. Gooch now. Will he go past Penny?
Come on.
Gooch looks for Bailey Wright on the inside, but it's been taken away from him. The ball's up in the air. It's a bit scrappy here. Who will bring it down? Sunderland will get the ball with Winchester. Winchester now plays it out to the right to Lyndon Gooch. Lyndon Gooch now. What will he do? Will he look for the 1-2? He cuts inside, gives it to Bailey Wright, who flicks it out to Carl Winchester. Carl Winchester looking for a 1-2 with Pritchard. Will Winchester get there before Penny? He will, but
touches a bit heavy.
Winchester says that Penny hit the ball, but it was a bad touch by Winchester, and it's been given as a goal kick. It was a lovely one too. Winchester showing a little bit pace there. Penny gets his foot in. Nah, it was a goal kick all day. It was a bad touch.
I think he's clutching at straws there, so he's trying to win something back. I mean, to be fair, the response to them going 1-0 up has probably been okay. Probably seen some of the most active 3 to 4 minutes we've had. Don't get us wrong, we've not really created anything, but I think a bit more intent, maybe. Something to cling on to.
Yeah, 100%. It's only 1-0, man.
You've been inhaling helium?
No, I'm just tired. The ball's just a bit scrappy here, but Evans comes away with the ball. He gives it out to Penny now. Penny looking for the ball down the line, but it's cut out by Bailey Wright. Gives it to Gooch, who looks for Pritchard, but Morsey gets his foot in. It's bounced. It's bouncing, and it's just up in the air. Flanagan heads it towards Penny. Penny brings it down on his chest, and he looks for the ball towards Norwood. Bailey Wright is giving away a free kick as he's bundled Norwood to the floor. Free kick in a dangerous position. It's out on the left, in line with the 18-yard box. Dangerous position.
Yeah, potentially another area for them to get a ball in the box. Just over a minute of the added 7 remaining. It'll be less than a minute by the time this is taken. So if we can get this clear, get back in at half time, we've got a chance of changing things up a little bit and getting ourselves back going for the second half, haven't we? Comment there by Stephen 73. I think sums up quite well. Sunderland have not matched energy and aggression.
Right there, ball whipped in towards the middle. Hoffman punches away, but Pritchard will knock it out for Ipswich throw in.
Did well, Pritchard, just to get in ahead of him and knock it out clear. Little bit negativity from Ian Non there in the live chat. I understand the frustration, but I just think, this is the first time we've even been behind in a little while. We've had a good run. With this first half hasn't went very well. We have conceded a goal, but there's still 45 to go.
Bit scrappy in this left-hand corner. Sunderland trying to get away. Sunderland Winchester did hit it off penny itself for Sunderland throw in just near our own corner flag. I just think there's just such an overreaction. It's 1-0. It's half time.
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was another minute. Half time here. 1-0 Ipswich. I mean, the score in the 46th minute was a nice header by Norwood, but I mean, was it defendable? Yes, every goal is defendable, but at the end of the day, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? When you're in the moment, the bounce just done barely right, unfortunately.
I mean, it was the bounce that we got unlucky from that bounce. I think first and foremost we'll establish, and Wright got caught flat-footed. The momentum went well for Norwood coming in the box quite late. However, I will say that prior to that, we were caught a little bit defensive. I think Doyle and Flanagan didn't really seem to have any kind of understanding of where each other were, and that meant they could move the ball through us quite easily. And thirdly, give credit to Ipswich. They
deserve to be in the lead. I mean, they had that chance with, I think it was Norwood at the back post, where somehow he hit it over the bar from Burns' cross. I mean, they are threatening, they are doing things. We just need to change it up. It's one of them games. I knew they would be up for it, and it just shows they are for it. It's just unlucky. To be fair, well, not unlucky. No, the goal was unlucky, but it has been coming.
Well, I think the goal was partially unlucky, but in the same breath, you've also got to give a little bit credit to Ipswich for the way they've moved the ball in the first half and how quick they've been, especially down that right-hand side with Burns. But additionally as well, I think our defending the lead up to the goal was a little bit questionable. Doyle and Flanagan just didn't really look as if they knew how each other were. They cut through us a little bit easy, and as much as we were a bit unlucky after that with the bounce, in the lead, I think we could have been a bit more organised. And as well, give credit to Ipswich. I mean, they haven't been a bad team at all. They've got forward well. They've got forward quickly. They've put a lot of pressure on us when we've been trying to play out. And they've nullified basically everything we've tried.
Looking at it this way, right? We played terribly the game at home and we won 2-0. These have been playing really well and only 1-0. I mean, like, we can still get back into this. I mean, everyone said we'd take a point, so we're still in it. We just need to just create something. We just haven't created a lot, and I just had a feeling it was going to be one of the games today. And don't forget, we suffered another injury as well, and that takes a sting out of the game a little bit, because there's a good couple of minutes where you're not doing anything, you're getting cold. I know it might be a bit excuses like, but it doesn't help. Do you know what I mean? A big stop and play. But calling for Johnson out again is just, come on, man. It's just
a bit premature, isn't it?
Over the top, man. Again, I mean, I'll look at the league table now.
I mean, I'll first and foremost say that, that first half performance wasn't really good enough. And we were off the pace a little bit. Ipswich largely controlled us and probably could have had a couple more if they'd been a bit more clinical in the box. And we've not really been able to create anything, to my knowledge. But in the same breath, we've had an undefeated run of 6 games, picked up, I think, 14 from a possible 18 points. And we've had one bad half, and we're 1-0 down at half time. There's no need to be calling for Johnson's head and stuff.
We're still third. We're still 3 points off top. I mean, Wigan's winning, and they've got a game in hand. So that's fair enough. And who's the other team about? Rotherham are drawn at the minute. So yeah, like just calm. Max Power scored, for God's sake. Just calm down. I mean, there's just no need to go over the top, man. Like, I mean, if you want Johnson out, fair enough, but who do you want in?
Yeah.
No one can. Everyone will say, "Oh, Roy Keane," because Roy Keane's going to come to a team.
He's going to come to a League One team, work under a director of football, but this is some other guys who say, "Oh, what was the other one that was suggested?" That
Daniel Farker,
who's going to go from probably about 60, 80 grand a week, something like that. At Norwich, he was probably on. He's going to come and be Sunderland's head coach for like 3 grand a week in League One. It's just not going to happen, is it?
Like in this league, the managers aren't exactly a lot different. It's about your personnel. Like, there's a lot of personnel, and our personnel is just average.
Yeah.
It really is.
And inconsistent. I mean, I think we've got a big 15 minutes here at half time. If we can change our tact a little bit. I do think the players have been trying, and I'll always back that this team does play for Lee Johnson. This team is a collection of tries and those who put the good effort in. Just slightly different intent, maybe. we've been trying to play from the back. That hasn't really worked. They've been too physical. They've been too aggressive in their approach, and they've clearly scouted us quite well, I think. If we continue to play from the back, I don't really see it going. Don't really see it working very well for us at all. So I think change our tactic up a little bit. Try and shift that a little bit. Is there any changes you will make? I mean, we've had to bring him on.
Let's be fair, our bench isn't very strong.
There's a lot of it.
The only player you would really probably think about bringing on is probably Embleton, because he does have that little bit of quality, even though he doesn't show it a lot of the time this season. But he has got that, like, where he can ping one from 25 yards out in the top corner. I don't know if he's any good at free kicks, but everyone says he's good at free kicks. Aidan O'Brien, as much as I like the lad, he's not someone who can come on and change a game like that. You know what I mean? We don't even know what his best position he is. You know what I mean? People say he's best up front, but do you take Stewart off? Probably not. Is he very effective on the wing? I wouldn't say so. And then you've got Kim Ioka, who's, again, like, you clearly don't like the bloke.
Kim Ioka is a terrible footballer with an even worse attitude. I went to an under-23s game a few weeks ago. We had Southampton at home on a Sunday. And for the first hour of the game, we were 2-1 down. We weren't in the game at all, really. We haven't really done much. That goal was one moment of quality from Ellis Taylor. And Kim York in particular had been terrible. The coach subbed him off, brought him off the pitch, brought a young lad on in the middle and changed the tactic a little bit. In that final half an hour, we ended up scoring 2 goals and dominating the last third of the game. And Kim York was sat for 10 to 15 minutes with his head in his hands, basically crying on the touchline that had been taken off. After arguing with his coach for taking him off, which I just thought was absolutely disgusting after he played so badly. He's never impressed us in the first team, in the slightest. I don't think he's got anything about him. I think his attitude absolutely stinks. So I cannot really see why. I probably sound a lot more aggressive, a lot more passionate than I actually am about this. People tend to hype him up, and I don't really know why, because he's never really done anything. I don't think he's got the right attitude you need to succeed. I
did think when he left and then we'll re-sign him on a contract, I was like, why? He clearly didn't want to be here because he was signing a contract. He basically put his feeler out to see where he could go and realised there was nowhere to go but back to us.
People always say that with 09 as well, that it's completely different. 09 took 1 week after having performed well for 3 seasons to review other offers, where he was getting offers from the division above. Then decided after a sore week of consideration that Sunderland was the club for him, signed his contract, and since then he's been 100% committed. You can't tell me that Kim York was 100% committed to the club. He's not.
But there's a difference.
He earned it as well. 09.
There's a difference between 09. He's a first team starter, and a good utility player. Kim York is a young kid who hasn't proven himself at all, and the internet connections just went really down. If you look, we're down on 1. Someone hasn't been paying the internet bill.
Exactly. Or someone's using too much internet downstairs. You know what? You never know.
I know what they're watching.
But yeah, I think with 09, he'd earned that opportunity to take a look at what his other offers were, and then he decided he still wanted to stay at the club. Fair enough, and he's put 100% commitment in since then. Kim York, I don't really know who he thinks he is. In Nanton, I may not agree, but I think Kim York is 2 years off the first team. Twitch would say, well, how old is he now? He's got to be 21, 22.
22.
If you're 21, 22 and you're still full 2 years away from the first team, then you're not going to be good enough. You can't be having your breakthrough season at 24. It's not really.
Well, he can, because Jesse Lingard did, but he's not a Jesse Lingard, let's be fair.
Well, yeah, that happens, but it shouldn't be in the plan for someone to break through in their mid-20s. Look at Jamie Vardy. He was someone who came through, at a later age. That should never be the plan. The plan should be to be playing first team football at a decent level by probably about 2021. And I don't think Kim York was ever going to make an impact at this club. We're in League One.
The only thing what saves Benji is that he's got a little bit of pace. I think that's what keeps him around, because that's all he's really got. I've seen him dribble with the ball. He falls over. He tries to do. I remember.
He thinks he's bloody Ronaldo, man.
I remember when he came on for one of the games for the last 10 minutes or something. We're getting beat and we threw him on like last roll of dice, really. I think this was on a Jack Ross.
Last roll of the Tyrese.
And he tried to
Tyrese dice.
And what do you call it? He tried to do a flip flap and he lost the ball. And I was just sitting there going, Why are you trying to flip? Who do you think you are trying to
do
flip black?
like 4 or 5 step overs in one go and do it. I mean, Dice is I've just mentioned that jokingly, but for me, he's the one who should be looking to get in the team. Did all right in pre-season whenever he's came in the first team for a cup game or a friendly. That in recent months, I think he's done quite well. Physical, big lad, quick. He plays fullback, winger, wing back. He's even done a job up front. I think in a time we've had a lot of injuries, I think he's probably one of the lads who I would say give him a shot. Brian Halliday on the live chatting, he's 22 in February 2022. So the lad turns 22 in about 2 to 3 months' time. If he still cheers off the first team, that's just not good enough. Anyway, we're having a very heated debate about Kim Yorker. This has digressed a lot further.
To be fair, there's not really much to talk about the game, is there really?
Sure, keep slagging them off for a little bit.
We're not slagging them off, we're just saying that, that's how the options are on the bench. It's so lack of options, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, what can you do to change the game? Would you change the formation? I mean, maybe, but I mean, that means you'll have to probably bring one of your centre backs off, because you can't change the formation but keep 3 centre backs unless you're going to play one at left back and push you further up or Gooch further up. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, it's just a little bit. I don't know. It's just a bit flat, isn't it? Like,
yeah, we just look a little bit. I just think we've been boxed in by them. Every time I went to try and go forward and do something, they've just kind of like put a bit too much pressure on us and got a bit too on our faces. We've not really been able to do much.
I mean, their bench. I mean, they've got Joe Piggott, who's a good striker. They've got Scott Fraser, who's a really good centre midfielder. People say Connor Chaplin's quite good at...
He's been good at this level. He's done well against us in the past.
And the rest of the team, I'm not really sure about.
Burgess was previously at Portsmouth, wasn't he? Looks like he was a good defender.
Oh, is that big, tall Burgess?
Got a history degree as well. I mean, I think it is. Or is that not Christian Burgess? I don't know.
I don't know, but...
Tom Carroll, I think, was a Spurs Academy graduate, to my knowledge, I think.
I'm not sure. But, I mean, them have got good options coming off the bench. I mean, our only good option, I would say, is Embleton.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The one who you could look at and be like, he could make a big impact on this game.
Maybe.
I know O'Brien's a senior team player, but I couldn't really see him bringing much today. Then again, a little bit fight, a little bit bite, a little bit, a bit harshness, I think.
I don't think fight and bite is going to win you this game. You need someone with quality. I mean, we've showed fight and bite in this game.
We could do with a bit more physicality in there, a little bit
and
more.
Even O'Brien isn't that guy, though.
I think he's quite a physical player. I think he gets himself about.
I think he's a nasty player, but I don't think he's a physical player. I think he likes to start on players and stuff like that, like rattle players. But
yeah, but I think he's fairly fit. He gets himself out the pitch a lot. He's got a little bit.
Unfortunately, I do believe Aidan O'Brien should have probably left in the summer.
No, I agree. I mean, that he nearly went on loan. I think if we hadn't had an offer to get rid of him and bring someone else in, I think we would do.
I do think he might even have that chance in January.
Which, I think if an offer came to let him go and replace him with someone else, I probably would. I don't think he's a brilliant player. I just don't like the same and like loads of criticism that he seems to get all the time.
I won't criticise him. It's not his fault.
Yeah,
he's not the player we need at the minute. Do you know what I mean? Like, he did come from Millwall at the time, a championship team, but there's a reason why he's in League One with us, because he's standard. And to be fair, he doesn't even look. You need high quality League One players, and I don't think he's up there.
No, he's not. He's okay. He's okay.
I think he's just an average League One player, really.
Yeah, he is. Martin Gibson on the live chat says, watching from Turkey, lads, and think it's been terrible so far. Hopefully a better second half. In on the live chat, saying, unpopular opinion, Broadhead has done better than Ross Stewart since November. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion, to be honest. I think
Broadhead's been shining. Ross Stewart, he hasn't really been scoring the goals. Like, he has nicked the odd one here and there, but the start of the season. But the thing is, though, the whole team start of the season was class.
Yeah, there was no way Broadhead was getting into that team. There's no way anyone was.
And he was injured as well, don't forget.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Pritchard hasn't even getting into this game yet. He's been really out this game. We just need to get big players in this game. The likes of Dan Neil and the likes of Pritchard and Broadhead. I mean, I don't think Gooch will get into the game now because he's on the right. I just feel when he's on the right, he just turns into the same Lyndon Gooch we always know. Someone who holds on the ball too long when he's on the left. I don't know. He just seems to up his game when he's on the left. It's weird.
Brian Halliday on the live chat says, no depth, no quality on the bench. Unfortunately, that's just a situation when with injuries, isn't it? Really, we've not really got anyone that can come out to change again. Brian Halliday, roll the dice which I would definitely back. I think we should be rolling the dice in the minute. He could make.
Where's Wayne as well? It was his birthday. Where's Wayne? Like, why?
I think when
is he the judge?
No, he wasn't, because he was meant to be playing last night. I do believe. So I don't know. Again, he's one where he's came at the first team a few times. He looks decent. He looks like he's got a bit of quality about him. We could have done with him.
I mean, I would rather have him on the bench than Kimpy Yoga. 100%. 100%,
because he's a better player than him with a far better attitude.
I mean, I just don't see what, like, obviously we don't work with these players day in, day out, and our hindsight's a wonderful thing. We see him play one game, we go, oh, he's the best thing since sliced bread, but we don't know what in training he's been like. We don't know what his fitness is actually like. Has he got a tiny little niggle? That's why he's not been in the team. We just don't know. We just assume these things. But when we're assuming them, people actually think that's the reason, that's fact. But we don't really, let's be fair, we know nothing.
Oh, yeah. Man, like, we are very ignorant, really, when it comes to our knowledge.
Yeah.
In comparison,
we actually do believe we're better managers than Lee Johnson. That's how everyone believes.
Everyone likes to think they're going to do a better job, really, if it was them. But there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, even when you sit and listen to Johnson talk about the way he coaches the players, he did the Unfiltered podcast with Frank and Danny, and just listen to some of the things that he's talking about how the players are getting coached day to day. It goes well over my head, you know. So
I do listen to them. I don't listen to them. I don't do interviews and that, because I just feel like it's always PC.
I don't, but I have been recently. I wouldn't normally listen to something like the Unfiltered podcast, because a lot of time it's just like it is normally. I've listened to every single one. Normally, it's just like watered down drivel. Really, that's
So it's just a watered down version of Sunday Bunch, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, nothing's as good as a Sunday Bunch. It's just like a good PR move. But I actually think they get quite honest in those chats on the Unfiltered podcast. So if no one's ever listened to it, you can get it on. You can get it on YouTube. You can get it on most podcasting platforms. I think it's decent.
And we were back on our way. I think you took the first 15 minutes.
Yes, we are. Luke getting us back and running. Long ball goes forward towards the right-hand side now. Ipswich with the ball out there. Human Doyle putting a little bit of pressure on the ball. Comes into the box. It's headed away by Bailey Wright. Stewart picks up the ball and he finds Lyndon Gooch, who dinks it forward to Ross Stewart, who knocks it back to Lyndon Gooch, who's coming inside a little bit now. He looks for the runner broadhead, but I think that was a poor decision from Gooch there. Really too ambitious of an effort. Ball goes forward. Bailey Wright didn't get anything on it, but it's out for a Sunderland throw in out on our right-hand side. DJ Earth on the live chat saying Blackburn 2, Birmingham 0. And David Miller saying, what's with this noise? Constant noise beating every 10 seconds. Have we left the pot noodle in the microwave? No, it's Dino's phone. Dino's got himself on. Phone. Dino's on Tinder now. So he's getting a lot of notifications.
My phone has went off, so I don't know what's
been going.
It hasn't been.
It's all those Tinder notifications, I tell you. Bailey Wright taking the throw in, goes up the line. Stewart flicks it on Broadhead, who knocks it back to Ross Stewart, who couldn't quite do anything. He does hack away a little, will win the ball. Pritchard picks up that loose ball out on the wing. He's maybe fouled a little bit. Ipswich come away with the ball. Referee hasn't given anything. The ball goes up the line, chested down, and Dan Nail tried to send it long. He couldn't quite do so. Flanagan heads it forward. A little bit of head tennis going on in the centre as the referee stops the game for some reason. I'm not entirely
What's going on there? Is it the ball flat or something?
I don't know. You're not 100%.
Ryan Halliday says, I like Danny Collins. So do I.
Good luck. How was Danny?
Friend.
Hashtag.
Yeah, I think the ball was a bit soft, unfortunately. So
like you. GLM.
Oh, God.
I'm not sure what the referee stopped the game for, but it looks as if it might be a bit of a drop ball, or as if he's going to give the ball back to someone. I mean, Ipswich had the ball in at the time when the referee stopped the game, to my knowledge. Evans is still over it. The referee just drops it and gives it down to Evans, who gets Ipswich playing again. It goes out towards Burns on the right-hand side. Hume puts a good foot in there, wins it back, and finds Pritchard, who's running through the centre, who tried to find Broadhead, who was intercepted there. Winchester trying his best to get the ball, but Aluko comes away with it. Aluko keeping the ball, finds Penny, who didn't cost much, sends the ball up the line. Norwood out on this right-hand side, didn't manage to keep it in the end, actually. Bailey Wright picks up the loose ball, finds Winchester, who sends it long. Again, not really to anyone. It's headed away by an Ipswich defender. Pritchard gets a touch on it. He was pulled a little bit. The referee doesn't give anything. It's out for a Sunderland throw-in out on the right-hand side, which Lyndon Gooch will take. He sends it up the line to Alex Pritchard, who's on the turn trying to make things happen. He's not really got many options. He does fit into Stewart. Stewart might try and win a corner or something here for Sunderland. He's won a throw-in quite high up the pitch, near the corner flag, which Gooch jogs over to take. Some more score updates coming in from DJ Earth. Thank you as always for those updates. Brett Halliday saying started a little bit brighter. Yeah, it seems that way. It's still early on, but we do look a little bit more energetic. Gooch struggling to have known where to put this. He went to go short of Pritchard, but an Ipswich player intervened, and it's out for Sunderland to win just a little bit deeper. Pritchard now take this one. Doesn't he? Gives it to Gooch instead. Gooch finds Stewart in the box. He's got a couple of players getting on his back. The ball runs out for, well, I think Stewart thought it was going to be a Sunderland corner, but in the end, the referee has given a goal kick, much to his dismay. And he did let it go out, Stewart, so he must have been fairly confident, but a goal kick nonetheless, which Walton will take with his left foot.
It's just flat again.
49 minutes, 18 seconds into the game. Walton kicks it long. Flicked on, only as far as Flanagan, who sends it long. Stewart tries to, well, he did win the header and didn't really go to anyone. Broadhead and Pritchard were there trying to make things happen. Ball gets sent up the pitch. It's flicked on well, only as far as Tom Flanagan, who finds Denver Hume at left wing back. Hume looks to go up the line. He drops it off to Pritchard. Pritchard goes into Stewart. Lovely little megs from Dan Neil to keep the ball. He finds Nathan Broadhead, who's running through on goal. Yes! Equalised! Nathan Broadhead, 5 goals in 5. And just like that, 5 minutes after the break, it's Ipswich Town 1, Sunderland 1, and a good little move from the lads there.
That was beautiful. That was really good. I mean, well recovered there. I mean, Hume plays it inside to Pritchard, who gives it to Stewart. I think that's Stewart, who just recovered the ball. Daniel with a lovely little nutmeg.
Exquisite megs, that.
And then a lovely pass to Broadhead. Broadhead puts it near post. Keeper didn't even have a chance. Didn't even dive. What a finish. What a pass. What a goal.
It was a great move. Hume playing up the line nicely. Stewart then goes down. Neil, I think, thought very quickly. And that little megs was exquisite. Lovely little bit of technical ability coming out on him there. Nice little ball into Broadhead, and Broadhead still had a lot to do. Used his pace to get away from the defender quite well in a nice, tidy little finish. 5 minutes after coming out from the half-time break, we're back level again.
I mean, Daniel with a little bit of quality. I tell you, a little bit of quality. Nutmeg. Broadhead makes the right run. Daniel finds one of these, and it's just a lovely sort of goal. I thought he missed a target. Anyway, someone come away with the ball again here.
Pritchard out towards Gooch, out on the right-hand side. Ipswich not got a lot of men back. Gooch driving into the box. He's got a couple of players between him and the goal. He does put the ball across, and well, it was Wolfenden who got a touch to it in the end. Nearly sent it into his own box, I think, in his own goal. Sorry, that's what I thought was happening. Ipswich come away with the ball. The referee does blow his whistle for something.
Well
for
done,
Winchester
really
free kick, tactical foul left Winchester. He was absolutely furious at the fourth official.
He's not. He's furious at Bailey Wright, I think.
Oh, is he?
I think so, because Bailey Wright gave him a hospital ball.
What's that back of it? Yeah, that's complacent. That from Bailey Wright. He was shouting at him already, wasn't he? I think Winchester did well to make the foul, make the referee put his whistle and just stop the game.
Had to do it. Well done by Winchester, using his brain.
Yeah, the free kick does go forward. I don't think when he came of it though. Broadhead tried to flick it onto Stewart. Sunderland have got a little bit more momentum, it seems now. Sunderland forcing Ipswich into little mistakes here and there, as Walton's had to run to pick up that ball, and he sends it up the line only as far as Bailey Wright. It goes inside to Winchester. Winchester infield one more to Pritchard, got a couple of men around him. He finds Broadhead, the goal scorer, inside to Stewart. Back to Nathan Broadhead. Ipswich plays appealing for something. Pritchard, infield to Winchester, who finds Dan Neil. Lovely little turn to send a loop all the wrong way. Finds Denver Hume, who tried to cut inside. He couldn't really make much of that. Neil trying to win the ball back. Hume puts a foot in, but it's out for an Ipswich Town throw in on the right-hand side, which Burns will take.
I mean, we're looking at a different side now. We're putting them under pressure. Looks like we're back in it. We're back in it. It's all we needed. Just get back into the game.
We just looked a little bit more physical, a bit more at it in the second half, really.
We're just pinging with passes as well, and we're closing down a lot better.
Yeah, we look as if we're the more aggressive team now after they were in the first half.
Do you know all these people who say, "Oh, what's he said at half time?" I hope they mention you must have said something good at half time.
Yeah, exactly. Which isn't always the case. It isn't always that necessary message came from half time. Sometimes it's just these things happen. But you know, I agree with you. Those people who would normally point the finger at Johnson and say, "What you done at half time?" You know, you then got to give credit as well,
because we'll come out with a different team. We're in this game again. We'll look hungry. We'll look like we want it a little bit more now. And
you don't look hungry.
I'm starving if I don't eat out there, man.
I find that hard to believe. Anyway, sorry, Dino. It's a bit harsh that. Denver came to take this throw in out on the left-hand side. It goes forward. Broadhead couldn't quite take it down.
I'm sure that was a foul throw by Denver. That was another foul throw from Denver Hume.
And the referee's picked up with the second one and given
it. He has as well. Oh my God, that's 2 foul throws in a row, and he caught the second one.
Wasn't it?
It was. God's sake, man. How am I, Hume, man?
Well, then, around about the halfway line, Ipswich have a throw in after Denver Hume.
Did you do that?
Take what?
The scores in that, or is that?
No, that'll have been.
Oh, that's all.
That'll have been our
editor.
Chief executive producer, director, and owner of the channel, who's done that for us. So thank you. Although I think you put one extra bracket than is needed. So if you would like to pick up on that, that'd be brilliant.
The owner.
Chief Operating Officer, Director. It's Oxford have also equalised. It's Oxford 2, Wigan 2. So 2 equalisers in Sunderland's favour.
So let's have a look at this
second half. Dino's looking at the tables. Anyway, Sunderland back in play now. Callum Doyle, after this goal kick, trying to send the ball up the left-hand side. Nothing really happened. And Gooch has it now. Gooch coming in field a little bit. He's tucking in quite a lot considering I think he's meant this to be playing wing back. It's a lovely little ball into Ross Stewart. Stewart, saved by the keeper. It's headed away at Ipswich. Get the ball clear, but a great ball from Gooch. Great vision to just cut through 3 or 4 Ipswich players. Stewart got under it well, and Walton came out very timely. Brilliant ball, that. Walton
was stretching there all the time when he looked like he was rushed. But yeah, another chance.
Great initiative from Gooch. You got to give credit where it's due. Gooch to take this then, short of Pritchard, back to Gooch, who tried to play it back to Pritchard, but he wins. Another throw in for Sunderland. We are 55 minutes and 37 seconds into this game. It is Ipswich Town 1, Sunderland 1. Ipswich took the lead at a time in the first half towards the end. I think their goal was coming early. Sunderland came out in the second half a lot better and earned ourselves an equaliser. Well, Flanagan has the ball now. Lovely little shift balance, sending the Luke all the wrong way, and he finds Callum Doyle. Doyle into Denver Hume, who drops it off to Dan Neil.
Another Meg.
Another little Megs. He's loving them today.
Meg him again.
And he's trying to pass the ball off. He dinks it into Broadhead now. Couldn't quite get there. But these little signs of intent is what wasn't there in the first half. We actually got enough possession and enough control in the game to start trying these things, and we just weren't able to do them in the first half. So, you know, it's better, isn't it?
It's much better. It's good to see. We look like we're getting a bit more confidence about it. First half, we didn't look confident. We looked very uncomfortable. Ipswich looked comfortable. Now, roles are reversed. Ipswich look like the uncomfortable team.
They look as if they're starting to panic a little bit and make a lot of mistakes.
Daniel with his trademark little turn there, but gives the ball away, unfortunately, after his turn. Go on, mate.
And Burns skipped past a couple of men. He had a good first half. Is he going to get back more into this game? He's up against Winchester. Winchester seems to stand himself up well, does well. Doyle finds Pritchard. Now it's with Winchester. Back to Doyle out the left-hand side. Someone playing up the ball about in their own defensive third. Knocks it into Dan Neil, who tried to drop it off for someone he wasn't really able to do so. Ipswich have the ball back now in the centre circle. Out towards the left-hand side now with Penny, who didn't cost much. Gooch putting a little bit of pressure on him. He goes back to one of the centre halves for Ipswich. Spreads it over towards, I think that's Wolfenden. Now it's with Don Dassey in at right back, who knocks the ball ahead of him and plays a little. Well, he's going to play a 1-2 with Burns and get the ball back though. Lugo couldn't quite get that ball. It falls to Wolfenden. Morsey, Wolfenden. Back to Walton in goal, just on the edge of his own box. No Sunderland player putting much pressure on him. Wolfenden will take his time. sends it long towards the right-hand side. It's headed infield, taken down by their number 10. Morsey creeping towards our box now. Gooch in the end getting there and clearing after it was blocked there, Morsey. Aluko had a shot blocked. The Sunderland come away with the ball. Denver Hume couldn't quite keep the ball there. It's starting to get a bit scrappy again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aluko passing the ball out to Burns out on the right-hand side. He's got Dundassi on the overlap. Burns looks to put a ball in the box. Nothing really came about there. I think that's going to be another Sunderland goal kick.
Ipswich just going into the game the last couple of minutes, yeah. Put one under a bit of pressure. 58.5 minutes gone. Still 1-1. But signs are better from Sunderland. We've definitely been a lot better than the whole first half.
We have been. We've came up with a lot more energy, and I think we've controlled the second half as opposed to being controlled in the first half. And Ipswich are starting to get back into it more again now with Morsey picking the ball up, but he's taking that towards the box and to no avail really as Hoffman knocks it short there. Bailey Wright carrying the ball forward, sending the ball up the line, looking for the run of the goal scorer Broadhead. Couldn't quite find him. Ball goes out for a Sunderland, throw it out this right-hand side. Very quickly, 96 people watching, 75 likes. If you haven't already, please do give us a like. Just hit that thumbs up icon. It should change colour. And that's how you give us a like. See if we get 100 before the end of the stream today. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to our channel. It is free to do so. And you won't miss any of our future streams or videos. Gooch to take the throw in, knocks it short of Broad, and he couldn't quite do so. Then number 3 picks the ball up and gives it back to someone who sends it long. It's picked up by Evans in the midfield, who lashes the ball forward only as far as Flanagan, who's touched let him down a little bit. Dino, I'll let you take over for the next 15 minutes.
Oh, there's a little bit of handbags there. Flanagan picks the ball up. Flanagan's received a yellow card for trying to take the ball away from the defender, from the Ipswich player. But I don't understand why the Ipswich players didn't get yellow card. You just push them to the floor, so we get yellow carded, but then don't.
Fair enough, yeah.
Well, anyway, Penny throws it to Luko, plays a lovely little 1-2. Luko has the ball now. He cuts back and gives it all the way back to Edmondson. Edmondson now looking for the switch. He switches it over, looking for, I don't even know who that is. I think that's Burns. Burns just knocks it down to Don Dashin, who gives it to Wolfie now. Wolfie just moves the ball forward. He heads into the centre circle. He looks for the long ball to the right side, which is cut out by Callum Doyle. Doyle now keeps the ball in, plays it inside to Ross Stewart, who flicks it to Dan Neal. Dan Neal now out to Ross Stewart, who finds himself on the left side. He tries to take on the player. Morsey with a 2-footed challenge there. I look 2-footed. Ross Stewart's down, and the referee says play on. Gooch now just nearly nips in front of the Ipswich defender, but it's a little bit scrappy here. The ball's found its way all the way over to Walton. Is Ross Stewart getting back up? It looked quite dangerous, that tackle there.
A little bit, yeah. Ipswich haven't still knocked the ball out of play yet.
I think is he telling them to knock the ball out of play? I don't know what.
I mean, if they want to, this is now a perfect time. They're not exactly going forward or anything, but it looks as if they're just refusing to. Stewart is back on his feet.
Yeah, he's back on his feet. Dundashin with a terrible touch. Hume looks to try and flip the ball inside, but Burns comes away, and Ross Stewart just clips Burns' leg and will receive a yellow card for a professional foul there on Burns.
Yeah, just justified and fair, wasn't it? Really, Burns was going to get forward and start causing problems. I think Stewart just looked ahead and thought, I'll just trip him from behind.
I'll just trip him up.
Why not?
But 61.5 minutes gone here. Bit scrappy, but it looks like Ipswich are getting the conference back. I mean, that's just pure trip up there from Ross.
Yeah. It's clear what he was trying to do, but I think he made the right decision, didn't he?
He did, yeah. But free kick about 45 yards. He took it quickly down the right side, looking for the run of Burns. Burns miscontrols it, and it's out for a goal kick to Sunderland. Anything in the comments there, mate?
Yes, Brian Halliday said we need to get a group of players who are tough as nuts and get out of League One. Unfortunately, these players are too nice. But I disagree because we've came out in the second half with a lot better attitude. I don't see where we can't just praise what's been a good.
Just because you have nasty players doesn't mean you're a good team, though.
Exactly.
Substitution. Elliot Embleton is coming on. Who's he taking off, though? And there's going to be a substitution also for Ipswich Town. It looks like Young is coming on, number 24, Young.
Gooch seems to be getting instructions along with Embleton coming on, so it might have something to do with him. Oh, maybe Pritchard might be coming off.
I don't what was that noise?
I wasn't going to mention it, but I was a bit concerned. Yeah, Pritchard.
I mean, people will not be happy with that.
Straight swapping it, really.
I think so. I mean, Pritchard really hasn't got into this game, really, has he?
I think Pritchard technically is a very good footballer. Short passes, little turns, keeping the ball in tight areas, creating chances, scoring the odd goal. But in a game like this, I think he's largely ineffective. It's a bit too physical. It's a bit too nasty. And I don't really think he's got that fight in him to rise up to it. Not through a lack of trying. I just don't think it's his style. So I think bringing him off might be a smart decision because he, as much as he's been great recently, I don't want to criticise him too much. He has been a little bit of a passenger today.
Ipswich did make a sub as well. Young came out. I didn't see who come off, unfortunately, but Ipswich play the ball downfield looking for Norwood. It's picked up by Winchester, who flicks it to Dan Neil. Now, Dan Neil under pressure. He gives it back to Winchester, who finds the ball out to Ross Stewart, who flicks the ball inside, but it's cut out by Ipswich, who knocks it all the way down for a Sunderland goal kick.
And DJ has updated us. Rotherham have taken the lead away at Cambridge.
That's not the one we want. That's not the result we needed, like. But Wigan's still drawn, aren't they? So that's okay because they're the one with the game in hand. Whereas Rotherham on the same.
I don't look into it too much. I know Bowles has got an Excel spreadsheet of all the possible outcomes of every game and stuff, but I don't really tend to pay much attention to it, to be honest. I just try and look at our results really and you know, a rough kind of estimate of how things are going elsewhere.
Sunderland have a throw in on the halfway line and hashtag Ask Danny. Has come on the screen.
Stu Shaw, that noise was Dino's bird trying to escape the cupboard under the stairs.
Anyway, Sunderland with the ball. Broadhead gives it away to Luco, gives it to Boney. Boney somehow gives the ball away, but it found itself away to Luco. But Sunderland come away with the ball on the right side. Ross Stewart now cuts inside. He's got Embleton on the right side. Embleton cuts into the box. He plays it in the middle, and I think the referee's given offside. Yeah, offside on Elliot Embleton there. And Ipswich trying. I think Ross Stewart just waited a bit too. Is he offside? He didn't look offside to me.
I don't know. That'd been for something else. You never know.
Right. The Ipswich substitution was Penny off for Young. So Penny, who didn't cost a lot.
He didn't cost much. I don't know.
Has been subbed
for Vincent Young.
Vincent Young.
It's a double barrel surname. We love one of them.
Vincent. I hate double barrel surnames.
Sorry, mate.
Vincent Young.
Can't just have one name. Can't have got to have two.
With a hyphen in it. Anyway, Walton plays the ball down to Boney. Boney flicks the ball on to Norwood.
Should all be shot.
Bailey Wright just shoves them in the corner, and Sunderland throw in just in their own corner flag. 65 minutes gone. Still 1-1. It's Joe DC is Wigan are winning it again.
Can I just ask you, do you think a point would be an alright result?
Yeah, well, I say we'll get beat, so yes.
I mean, I said I predicted 2-1, but I did say I would take a point on Thursday because I think all things considered, it wouldn't be a particularly bad result today.
Definitely not, but there's still plenty of time to go. Ipswich have the ball with Young now, bursting down the left side. He cuts inside, but he's under pressure by Winchester. Young turns again, and Winchester gets his foot in. Young's went down, and the referee's given a free kick to Young. I think he bought that, to be fair. He bought that free kick. But we're bit, and he's got the free kick in a quite dangerous area. It's between the box and the touchline. I mean, he bit here, look.
I think he's trying to win the ball a little bit, really.
Soft for me. Dangerous area. I think Evans is over this.
Oh, and the big news of the day.
What?
Brace yourselves. It's Rochdale 2, Newport 0.
Oh, way. Don't get me started.
Oh, don't get too excited.
Luco and Evans over this. Evans looks to whip it into the middle. He's went for the shot, and Hoffman's just tipped it over the bar. He went to go to that near post. Hoffman was not expecting that, and he has tipped the ball over for a corner kick to Ipswich.
And the Ipswich player just showing down to him how to take a throw in properly. He threw the ball over towards the player taking the corner.
Did he have his leg on the floor?
Both legs planted firmly on the floor, ball behind his head, ball up before it went down.
Unbelievable. Professional footballers making foul throws. Who would have thought? Anyway, Evans with the corner, whips it towards the near post, cleared away by Sunderland. Sunderland with Embleton. He plays a 1-2 with Daniel. Daniel looks long, and who's at Denver? Hume will get there, and he's bundled down by Burns. That's got to be a yellow
Foul
card.
and a yellow card, isn't it? Right?
How's Hume found himself up there? Burns has been given the yellow card. I mean, Hume would have been away there.
Yeah, it would have broke well.
So Sunderland players are saying that should be red carded. We've tried to take a quick free kick, but we're never going to get away with that in a million years. Come on, man.
Not when the referee's still talking to players.
I know, you can't just be doing that. But I mean, it's a lovely ball down the line. Hume, he he would have been away there.
Yeah, I think if it was clever from Burns, really frustrating but clever.
Yeah, we've done it a couple of times.
Yeah, Stuart and Winchester have done it with us. You know, I think you would have been away and you could have been looking at the second goal. So
yeah, clever by Burns, but Hume, I can't believe Hume wasn't even in that position. To be fair, he was in the centre forward role. He would have had the pace to get away from Burns, I do believe. Anyway, free kick between the penalty box and the halfway line. Embleton will take this. He looks towards the back of the penalty area where Flanagan will flick it on, but Burns will get his foot on and clear the ball where Luco clears the second ball. It's all the way in Sunderland's half. Will Hoffman get there? Hoffman comes out his box and his touch has let him down. What's happened there? It didn't go out for a goal. It didn't go out for a throw-in, but Sunderland do get a throw.
oh god,
That was probably the worst touch I've ever seen from a goalkeeper.
it's just a simple thing to do under no pressure, knowing that your goal, just knock it down and play.
Another substitution for Ipswich, number 21. Number 21, Connor Chaplin, is coming on for the goal scorer, Norwood.
A little bit changing tactic maybe there. Chaplin a little bit.
Is he a defender or is he midfielder? Was he?
Chaplin, no, he's a striker, but he's littler and nimble and a bit quicker. Whereas like Norwood's a bit more of a target man.
I'd say I didn't even know where Chaplin played. I thought he was a winger or something.
I think he might play out wide as well a little bit, but I think he kind of like made his name up front. I could be slightly wrong, but he's a forward player.
Anyway, throw-in taken by Gooch, and it's a terrible pass back by Embleton towards Gooch, and Gooch's touch let him down. Anyway, Sunderland have the ball with Bailey Wright, who couldn't control the ball and it's went for an Ipswich throw in. Almost 70 minutes gone here, still 1-1. Bit scrappy again. Got a bit scrappy. Young with the throw, and he throws it to Chaplin, I believe, who gives it back to Young, who gives it all the way to Edmondson. Edmondson looks for the switch towards Don Dashin. Don Dashin will just bring the ball down on his chest and just give it inside to Wolfie. Wolfie gives it just a lot of time on the ball here. Looks for the long ball down the left-hand side where Gooch will head it back towards Bailey Wright, who will look to clear. He's hit it off Boney for a Sunderland throw in just near the corner flag. Anything on the comments in that?
Anon says Paul Merson says he can't say for who, but he thinks there's another goal against Oxford and Wigan. Well, hopefully it is for Oxford.
Well, we've had no DJF score flash, so I'm guessing it hasn't happened yet.
No, he's just saying it looks as if there's another goal going to be in it somewhere.
All right. Anyway, it's a bit scrappy here on the edge of the Sunderland area. Bailey Wright's going to try and watch this out for a goal kick, and he has. And Bailey Wright just
tapping his belly, wasn't he? Really?
He tapped his belly, but then that Boney looked like he reacted and kicked. Looked like he went to stand on his foot.
Oh,
but Bailey Wright basically.
Poor Bailey Wright.
Bailey Wright just showing him what strength is there. I think just saying, get off.
Yeah. Said, I'm Bailey Wright. Who are you?
Anyway, it's a goal kick from the worst touch I've ever seen from a goalkeeper, Hoffman.
Just because he's not Lee Burge, you're going to slander him?
No, I'm not going to slander him. He's
Poor little Torben.
Is that what he's called, Torben?
Ron Torben Hoffman.
Anyway, he's launched the ball upfield. It's hit off Ross Stewart's back. Ross Stewart will bring the ball down. He looks to play it out wide towards Denver Hume, but it's cut out by the Ipswich defence where Walton will clear the ball. 71 minutes gone. It goes to the halfway line. Good win by Flanagan, but only as far as Evans. Evans knocks the ball down towards Burns on the right side. Will Callum Doyle get there before Burns? He will, and he'll knock it out for a throw-in to Ipswich. 115 people watching on the live stream. How many likes?
We'll check the likes. I think it's about 85 of you. If you haven't already, please do give us a thumbs up. It is free to do, so we'd love to get 100 if we can. Subscribe to the channel is free as well, and you won't miss any of our future live streams of videos.
Morsey with a shot outside the box. It's hit off Embleton and it's fell Edmondson, who flicks it out to Young. Young with another shot towards the far post. It's well wide,
and it'll be greatly appreciated. About to say any second. 84 likes. So if everyone had pressed the thumbs up button now, would get to 100. So if you please could do, before the end of the stream, do it right now. We'll get to 100 before the end of the stream. Be greatly appreciated. And of course, it is free, very easy and quick to do so.
Anyway, 72 minutes gone. Ron Torben Hoffman. It's a lovely name, and he's a lovely man as well. Our little Torben. He's aimed for Ross Stewart. Ross Stewart flicks the ball on, but only as far as Edmondson. Ross Stewart has hit the floor. The referees stopped the play for the injury towards Ross Stewart. I must admit, Ross Stewart is just winning everything in the air, isn't he?
He's been in the wars as well today. He's been getting battered and bruised all game.
He is. Luca will pick the big man up, and it looks like Sunderland will probably retrieve the ball here. I don't really know.
And around the ground, it is Blackburn 4. Birmingham 0.
Wow. Big scoreline.
It is.
I don't know what's happening here. I think the referee's giving a drop ball. He's giving it to Wolfie. Wolfie now looking for the long switch towards the left side of the pitch where Gooch will head the ball down towards Carl Winchester. Carl Winchester spins on the ball. He's under a bit of pressure. He gives it to Bailey Wright just in our own box. Bailey Wright plays the ball down the right side towards Broadhead, who looks to flick it on towards Hamilton, but it was a bad flick on him. Don Dashin gives it to Burns, who Burns gives it back out to Don Dashin. Don Dashin plays the ball down the line, but it's cut out by Callum Doyle. Doyle now forward towards Ross Stewart, who gives a lovely flick on. He's played a foot to Broadhead. Broadhead onside here. He's one-on-one, and he's put it wide. Oh, but I think he might have been offside. You know, it looked like he stopped trying.
Yeah, I didn't.
He's off. He's off. He's a mile off.
I didn't really feel convinced that was right. It looked as if something was wrong. Yeah, he's offside.
He's offside. Oh.
Stephen 73 saying, would you take a draw now? To be honest, I said I'd take a draw before the game, and I think I'll take a draw now. I'll be fairly pleased with the point. I do think we'll go on and win the game, but I'd still be fairly pleased with the point, I think.
I think it was a good line there by Ipswich. I mean, Broadhead looked and he's seen it. It just looked like he just went, what's the point?
Yeah. You can see his body language. I think he thought himself. Shrewsbury 3, Cheltenham 1 around the ground as well. Adra HC says, Millerman here, lads. Hope scores stop as they are, because I want us and you to go up this. I'm sure that's an Ipswich fan saying.
Oops, shot, edge of the box. Hoffman saves it. It was a good shot there by Boney, I think. And Hoffman goes long, looking for the long kick downfield, and it's went to absolutely one foot to the other goalkeeper. He rolls it out to Edmondson. Edmondson now coming down the left side of the pitch. He plays it inside to Ulugo. Ulugo back to Edmondson. Good foot in by Broadhill, who knocks it out for a throw-in, and I'll let you take over from now, mate.
Throw-in to be taken on this left-hand side then. There's an Ipswich player getting ready to take, and he seems to be talking to his bench about something. I don't know if they're just trying to run the clock down a little bit. Because Ipswich do seem to have time wasted just a little bit.
Do you reckon? Nah,
I think there's been a couple of instances where they've been slower to get things back moving. Not obviously and not desperately, but here and there.
Do you think that Hoffman's getting a bit more confident about coming off his line now?
Yeah, slowly but surely he is getting there. I agree. Doyle sending it long down the left-hand side, looking for the runner Stewart. Only goes back to Walton. What would you say about doing it as well?
Definitely is. Before he used to be scared of confidence. Now he seems to be on the edge all the time. Like look where he is now. He's building confidence anyways. Back and play with Sunderland.
Bailey Wright.
Back out to play with Sunderland.
Bailey Wright centred long, only out for a Sunderland throw-in. Out on the right-hand side, which Lyndon Gooch will look to take. 75 minutes, 33 seconds gone. Ipswich 1, Sunderland 1. Just wait to see whether there's going to be a winner in this game or whether the 90 minutes will come before one is able to be scored. Gooch, Embleton, will give it back to Gooch. Bailey Wright was there to pick up the loose ball, sent it down the line, headed away. And it is out for a throw-in to Sunderland, I believe, once again, just ahead of the halfway line. Any matches?
I wasn't looking at anything, mate. I was just doing nothing, really.
Gooch sends it up the line, headed away, out for a Sunderland throw-in.
No, it's not.
Ipswich throw-in.
God's sake, my ref.
Down our right-hand side, their left-hand side. But it's not in a bad area. It's right next to a corner flag in their own half. If it was Sunderland, you'd hear shouts of, box them in.
Is it me? I think the linesman's been the worst ref. I don't think the referee's had a bad game. I think it's the linesman. You've been given so many bad decisions. Oh, sorry, I forgot you were allowed to comment.
Apology accepted.
That was a foul throw.
Ball goes up the line. Flicked on a few times before Callum Doyle is able to get there and set a little bit more. Finds Bailey Wright, who sends it long. Stewart heads it down to Gooch. Now Broadhead has it. Broadhead tried to find Embleton. Couldn't quite do so. Out for a Sunderland throw-in out on this right-hand side, which Bailey Wright doesn't look as he wants to take. Gooch looks as if he's going to be the man to take it instead. Gooch taking his time with this now. Throws it towards Broadhead, who tried to chest it down. Couldn't quite get a fist of it, and the ball ends up going out for an Ipswich throw-in out on this left-hand side. Which then number 24, I think, was that Taylor who came on for them before?
Young.
Sorry, Vincent Young.
Vincent Young, sorry.
Vincent Young.
Not Young, Vincent Young.
Fantastic name. Knocks it short to Aluko, who knocks it back to, I think that's a Wolfenden who looks to switch the player across the box. A bit of a risky move there, really. Dondassian has the ball. He's getting a bit of pressure. He sends it long, hard, and up the line. Doyle into Winchester, who flicks it on. Stewart wins the header into Broadhead, who takes it down expertly. Broadhead, nice little turn. He creates himself some space. He finds Dan Neil out on the left. He's got Hume on the overlap, who he does look for. Hume's in behind. He puts a ball across, headed away by Wolfenden, out for a Sunderland corner.
I do think we were a little bit slow there. There was a couple of times we could have released that ball a couple of times for like Ross Stewart or something, and we got really, really slow.
Yeah, maybe. Sunderland corner then, out on the right-hand side to be taken. Embleton, I believe.
Yeah, any money doesn't beat the first man.
Is the man that stood over it. Dino bets me any amount of money he won't beat the first man. Which he does do, so he owes any amount of money. It's headed away. Only as far as Gucci's shot was sliced. And the ball goes out, I believe, from the Sunderland. So how much money do you owe us then?
No, I just said, I bet you he didn't beat the first man.
Yeah.
He didn't technically beat the first man because he hit the first man.
No, it went over a few of them.
There was no one.
You owe me money, boy.
Oh, no.
You owe me money, boy. Come on, Christmas is the time for giving. Anyway, corner goes in again. It's headed towards the back post and flicked away.
Did that hit off our own man on the floor?
I've got no idea. It's a third Sunderland corner in a row, out on the same corner to be taken by Elliot Embleton.
John Elliot Embleton.
And it's,
It's Elliot John Embleton.
oh yeah, that's his middle name, John.
He's got two second names and a first name in the middle.
What's wrong with that?
Just
Elliot John Embleton.
Should be John Elliot Embleton. So it should be.
Why?
Yeah, that just sounds right. Anyway, we're back in.
Well, you're not his parents, are you?
Should be.
Because you're a V. We're all V's. Embleton swings the corner right towards the back post, and
Yeah, well claimed.
Walton does well to pick that ball up, pluck it out of the air, and show Devon Kim how to take a throw in. He pummels it down the left-hand side. The ball looks to be sent forward, but then Gooch was there to put a block through it, and Bailey Wright ends up flicking it out for a throw in Ipswich.
80 minutes gone now. It's getting to that squeaky bum time.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's one of them where I think both points were a fair result at this point. I think both teams have had. I think they were the stronger team in the first half. We were the stronger team in the second half. But any moment now could completely swing the fortune of the game and mean that one team comes away with everything. Dondassian on the right hand side now knocks it forward to Burns. It goes back to Dondassian, and Luco has the ball now. He's been dangerous all game. Doyle finds Broadhead, Stewart, back to Broadhead out on the left-hand side. Can Sunderland get more men forward to support these two? Good tackle by Wolfenden.
You know what, as well? We've nullified Burns so much as well.
Yes, the second half he's been virtually anonymous. And Denver Hume set to take this free kick out on the left-hand side, goes short to Embleton, who couldn't quite pass it off to anyone.
Do you see a free kick?
Apologies if I did, through in. Ball comes back into where it was, headed by Burns, only as far as Doyle, who takes it down. Broadhead struggle to get control of the ball, and it gets sent long. Flanagan is there, knocks it back to Hoffman, who sends it long. Hoffman tried to find Denver here, but he couldn't quite do so.
Sunderland threw in there.
Really wanted Sunderland throw in, so not to worry. 81 minutes, 17 seconds gone for us here. Short throw in goes to Embleton, who sends it long up the line, but it's cleared out for another Sunderland throw in. Anon saying bring back Jack Diamond, has been scoring for League, been scoring in League 2 for fun. Took us a while to get out. But he's been doing quite well, I think, down Harrogate, so wouldn't mind seeing him come back, because Denver Hume is waiting very patiently for the sport to come back now. I think it actually went down the concourse, and there was a fan who went to get it in the end. Hume has the ball back now, though. Hume, short of Stewart. Knocks it back into the path of Denver Hume, who ball was intercepted. Burns sends it long, only as far as going out. And that'll be a throw in to Ipswich. It was, once again, was an player.
Wigan's winning.
Before going out. Wigan winning, apparently, yeah. Oxford 2, Wigan 3. A little bit disappointing. Oh, God, you're not going to believe it as well. Brace yourselves. It's Rochdale 3, Newport 0. Big game. Ipswich threw in then on their right-hand side. Dondassian sends it up the line. Dan Neil heads it into Winchester, who flicks it forward. Stewart now trying to get a grasp of the ball. He can't quite do so. Ball gets sent up the line now to the lad who came on, number 24. He's up against Lyndon Gooch. Nice bit of tricky ball gets sent across. Connor Chaplin's got a lot of time in the box. Dan Neil was able to pick up the loose ball after Chaplin's shot was blocked. Ball falls to Burns on the edge, whose shot goes well over. But I think Chaplin had a lot more space in the box than he should have done there.
Vincent Young got past Gooch way too easy. Just settled with his own step over what Gooch normally does.
We've been good in the first half. Sorry, the second half, I mean.
Good block by Bailey,
right? I think there was a little bit of a let-off there, was it not?
A little bit. Well done by Vincent Young to get down the wing. Done. Oh, we're in their box now.
All of a sudden, it seems as if we're in their box, but ball goes out for throw. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. As Frankie Francis would say, we are only being shown the same footage by the AFL cameraman.
Oh, Ross Stewart fell over his own feet.
Unfortunate. Denver Hume, shorter. Embleton, the ball would try to go into Broadhead, but he couldn't really get past Don Dassey, and then it's out for an Ipswich Town throw-in. Walton to take this one for... What's Ipswich's name? The Tractor Boys, is it?
Tractor Boys, I think.
Strange name. Sorry to any Ipswich fans watching, but it is strange. Speaking of 122 people watching, may as well give the likes one more plug. Walton sends this one long. Neil gets a free header there, and he sends it long. Stewart flicked it on. No Sunderland player is able to receive it, though. It goes all the way back to Walton, who knocks it short to their number 5 now towards the left-hand side, bringing the ball forward. And their number 24 inside to Aluko now, who finds Evans in the centre circle, knocks it out to Burns, who knocked it past Hume, tried to run past him. Hume just got in the way of him really there, and the referee does blow for a foul. 120 people watching, 96 likes. Just 4 more need to get to that magic 100. So if you haven't already, please do press that thumbs up button, give us a like. It is free to do so, very easy, and it also is free to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and you won't miss any of our future streams or videos. Definitely a free kick for you there, Dino. Do you think it was?
I thought he bought it, mate, to be fair. Like,
with how much? A penny?
Can't see it, one.
Sorry,
everyone. Sorry.
Free kick for Ipswich then, out on their right-hand side, about 25 yards from goalish. Plenty of the Ipswich players stood outside the box. Embleton, the only man in the wall for the Red and Whites. Ball goes into the area, headed away. Dan Neil looked hesitant to get it cleared further. Comes to him. Now to the Lugo, who tried to play the ball back to number 24.
Well in.
But it's well seen out there by, I think that was Tom Flanagan in the end, who turned on and shouted something in the Ipswich end. Maybe someone was giving him a little bit or something. Or was it Ross Stewart? Yeah, it was Ross Stewart. Well defended. And Torben Hoffman due to put this ball down and take a goal kick. But I believe there might be one final substitute for Sunderland. Yes, there is. It is Aidan O'Brien coming on. And I believe Nathan Broadhead coming off.
That's another one where the John Snow Brigade will be going, why are you bringing off the best player, blah, blah, blah. He might be spent.
But after 86 minutes, Broadhead's put a good shift in. He's played a lot of minutes recently. And, maybe this game would do with a little bit more bite. And I think O'Brien breaks that.
He'll probably be that. Everyone, he's been running everywhere.
Hoffman sends it long. It comes straight back at us, but then we fire it straight back towards Ipswich. Wolfenden heads it down. A little bit of head tennis going on. Aidan O'Brien's able to pick the ball up in the box here. He finds Ross Stewart back to Aidan O'Brien, whose touch was a little bit poor, but it was also a heavy pass from Stewart. Aluko skips past O'Brien and then Gooch and sends it up the line. Good touch from Bailey Wright to stop anything happening, and he manages to just about get something on it and send it forward, but John Dassey picks the ball up, comes over the halfway line, getting towards Sunderland's final third now, knocks it into Connor Chapman, who's very deep. Back to Evans, out wide now to Burns. Out on the right-hand side. Burns, couple of step overs, looks at it, put it into Chaplin, who now finds Don Dassey, but Hume does well, gets low and stops that cross coming at the box. It is out for an Ipswich Town corner.
Oh, I really hope we don't concede. Well, obviously, but if we do concede, you know what's going to happen. John Snow Brigade will say the same thing. Why did he make them substitutions? That's what lost for the game. Blah, 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 blah.
It's got nothing to do with it, really.
Not really.
Anyway, it is, I believe, Aluko to be taking this corner for Ipswich. left-footed in-swinger. Headed away well by his Sunderland player. Couldn't be sure who it was. A ball falls to Burns. Great pressure from Embleton. Just stops him doing anything really. He does in the end hit it, but it was never going to make it through that crowd of bodies and do anything. Out for a goal kick. Hoffman going over to retrieve the ball and put it down. We look as if we're showing a lot of intent. We want to get the game back in play. We want to go win this game. We aren't sitting back and taking a point. Hoffman then ready to take this for Sunderland. Sends it long with his right foot. We've also stopped playing it from the back as well, as much, which I think has helped us out significantly. Stewart heads it down there. Embleton on the right-hand side. Sorry, not Embleton. O'Brien, who...
It's a terrible header, to be fair to him.
Yeah, didn't have a lot of opportunity there, O'Brien.
What turn.
Turns well. Finds Dondassian. He's coming forward now. He's got Burns up ahead of him, making a run. He goes inside to Connor Chaplin, who picks the ball up in a little pocket. He finds Morsey, number 55, out wide now to Vincent Young, who nearly beats Gooch, but Gooch does well to read him a little bit there, and nice little back heel goes to another Sunderland player. All the way back now to, what's his face? Him.
Edmondson.
Whoever it was. Ipswich building the attack again. Chaplin knocks it out wide to Burns on the right-hand side in the final third now. Hume standing up, trying to stop a cross coming in. It goes back there. Chaplin on the edge, who finds Morsey in a decent position. It's hit by Luke on the end and headed by Tom Flanagan away. Looked as if it could have been a bit of a dodgy deflection there at first, but it is out for an Ipswich Town corner. 89 minutes, 22 seconds on the clock. Ipswich Town have a corner. It is 1-1. Full time as well. Morecambe 0, Fleetwood 0, and Plymouth 1, Charlton 0, if anyone is bothered. Corner to be swung in by a right footer, then out on the left-hand side. It goes towards the back post, headed away by Tom Flanagan. Sunderland players trying to stop this ball coming back in as well. Aluko manages to find Chaplin. Now it's with an Ipswich player in the box. Aluko has it now. He takes a shot. I don't think it got a deflection. The balls went all the way out for a Sunderland goal kick. And we have now hit the 90-minute mark. We're going to wait and see how long of added time. Probably not as long as the first half. 3 to 4 minutes maybe. I'll say 4 as well. Hoffman changing the side he's taking his goal kick from.
I don't understand how you know to do that, you know.
I mean, it should be taken from the side it's went out in, but it's one of them when maybe I don't know.
It's a weird room.
I don't know. I'm not bothered, to be fair. Get the pubs up with them.
Oh, that's a terrible goal kick as well.
Was Hoffman will have to cut that one again. Rolls it short to Bailey Wright. 4 minutes of added time. We've already played 32 seconds of which Bailey Wright sends it long, looking for Aidan O'Brien, who takes it down expertly. Oh,
that pass is terrible, man.
I think it was Dan Neil, but the pass was just not very accurate, was it really? He did well to take it down, but then
the pass wasn't there. That simple pass. Well, I think it was a simple pass anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Gooch to take this to win for Sunderland. Then we've played nearly a minute of the 4 added on. Not a lot of movement really for Gooch. Embleton came short and then went away again. Gooch looks for the run of O'Brien, who's desperately trying to keep it in. He does well to do so, and he forces Ipswich to try and play out now.
Don't foul him. Do not
foul him.
foul
A little bit of pressure on Dondassian, and he does well to get a foot on it. Ipswich have got a corner right in
corner.
Ipswich
have got a corner.
Ipswich have got a throw in right near the own corner flag. And if it was a Sunday league game, you'd hear shouts of
box them in.
Box them in, correct. But it's near the corner flag. You know what I mean? I got a bit confused, right? Ball goes up the line then. Only as far as Bailey Wright, who lets the ball roll out, and Sunderland will take this throw in. Lyndon Gooch with the ball in his hands. And as of a few seconds, we will have played 2 minutes of the added on 4. Gooch went to play it short, Embleton, who just decided to play it out of play. Vincent Young to get us back underway. It goes short to Aluko. Good pressure from Embleton, trying to redeem himself a little bit, but it is out for an Ipswich throw in. Vincent Young to take this one then for the Blues. Morsey, Vincent Young. Late challenge from Embleton there. I think Embleton's a little bit wound up because of his bad touch there. He's went in harshly twice. He's ended up giving a free kick away. We've played 92 minutes.
Momentum's with Ipswich,
28 seconds. Ipswich have a free kick just inside their own half. And Luco's going to try and swing this towards the box from deep.
Look at Johnson being so petty. It was there, ref.
Back to Walton. Walton sends it long. Plenty red and white shirts back. Hume, Winchester flicks it on to Stewart, who manages to get it away into Ipswich's half. O'Brien's battling away, trying to get something. Dan Neil will chase down the final defender. Dan Neil, can he win the ball? Not quite, but he's doing well to put him under a little bit of pressure. And he does win a throw-in quite deep in Ipswich. Not win a throw-in, but Ipswich have a throw-in quite deep in their own half because of Dan Neil's.
I really thought he was going to nick in there, you know.
I thought there was a moment where I thought he's going to win that and turn on and play it to O'Brien, but wasn't to be. Ipswich, I think they were running the clock down a little bit. They seem to be pretty content.
I'll take a draw, like.
Yeah, I mean, I said before the game, I'd take a draw now. I think Ipswich would probably be the same. It'd be a fair result, I think, as well.
I really think Stephen constantly needs to come on, man. If we don't win this, it's bloody playoffs.
I mean, what one game in this? I'm not even going to get into it. Ball gets switched.
Well, Hume
trying to beat Hume, but Hume does well and isn't beaten so easily. He's fouled. Now, well, not fouled. The referee's not giving it. Well, Ipswich back on the attack then. Plenty of Sunderland players appealing for it, and rightly so, I think, really. Blatant free kick. Morsey.
Last attack of the game. This
into Chaplin. Seconds remain. It's out wide to Burns. Burns swings at ball at the box. Chaplin couldn't quite direct it towards goal. Hoffman picks the ball up.
And it's full time.
And the referee blows a full time whistle. It is finished. Ipswich Town 1, Sunderland 1 at the Portman Road. We aren't doing a post-match review show, so we'll just give a couple of moments on it before we return to talk about the game properly in detail on the Sunday Bunch tomorrow. I think they had the much better play in the first half. They controlled us. They're a lot more physical than us. They got in our faces. Second half, we came out a little bit better. We came up with the traps, and I think we controlled them a little bit more. And in the end, I think 1-1, pretty fair result in it,
really. Chances-wise, I mean, them had a good chance in the first half, which Penny put over the bar. Still don't know how he didn't even hit the target. Overall, first half was theirs. Second half was probably, I would say, ours. I mean, we came out with blocks flying, got that goal, great finish by Broadhead. And it got a bit scrappy. Fair result, mate? Yeah, probably a fair result. I mean, that means Ipswich haven't beat us this season. I mean, that's good signs, isn't it? I mean, what's that, 7 unbeaten now?
They've still not beaten us since they dropped down into League One.
7 unbeaten?
7 unbeaten. And that'll be 15 points from a possible 20, from a possible 21.
Main thing is just don't get beat. Obviously, we don't want to draw every game because then you turn into the Jack Ross's, what do you call it? We don't want to be the Jack Ross, the draw
merchants.
Yeah, we don't want to be that. But drawing against Ipswich away isn't a bad result, especially 1-0 down. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and again, this isn't it's full strength team. There's a lot of injuries
exactly.
in
There's
there.
so many injuries in the squad. And Diaco having to come off without changing.
That's
again.
another injury that looks bad. Doesn't look like he'll be playing for the rest of the season.
We'll get into this in further detail tomorrow. Just quickly going back to the live chat. Beyond Shig says, decent point that. Chris Smith saying, I'll take a draw against them.
The owner has just come in the room.
The owner, chief operating officer, director of the channel is trying to cause a few distractions as we are trying to close things. Tony Lee on the live chat says, see you tomorrow, V's. A good show. So thank you for that. And thank you to everyone as well for tuning in this afternoon. We did hit 103 likes. So a massive thank you to everyone who did that. If you haven't already, it's free and very easy to do so. So if you would like to like and subscribe, it'd be greatly appreciated. But thank you to everyone for tuning in. Dino, it's been all right, hasn't it?
Been different.
And we will be back tomorrow for the Sunday Bunch. We're having a few little problems here and there. We'll be back for the
Someone hasn't paid
Sunday
electricity bill.
Of course, to review today's game as well as preview Arsenal's the quarter-final against Arsenal. Yes, tomorrow at the Sunday Bunch. We're getting very easily distracted by a certain someone.
Get off, man, away.
Causing problems. I'm trying to find the video. There it is. Right, anyway, thanks for tuning in. And bit of a haphazard end.
Miss Gal.
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.